Starts here. All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are joining us from. You will notice that I'm not playing music once I start recording because I don't want to violate anybody's copyright. That has cost me all my YouTube channel, 22 of them, because I normally would love to play music just to make people get into the flow. But now that they decided to shut down all my YouTube channels because my enemies protested. Let me respect myself. No music. So, but you're welcome. You're going to enjoy. We are not here to dance. We are here to have fun and to learn and to get into a business that can help us to solve some of our financial problems or help us to create a new income stream. So I see you, Iris Johnson. I see you, Abdul. If you are joining me live now, I want you to tell me where you are joining me from. Type it in whatever chat you can see. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Zoom. We are live on Clubhouse. And we are live on Gist House. We are live in 4 different forums right now, and it's going to be excellent. Just type wherever you are joining me from. Type it in the chat in the place you are in. Dr. Tolu Jeshina from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Mustafa Barua from Lagos. Come on, guys. I see Senator Sheni from Ibadan on Clubhouse. I see Oyeleke Amos on Gist House from Ibadan. I see Linda Anaga. She didn't tell me where she's joining from. All she's saying is good afternoon. All we ask you to do is type the place you are joining us from. Follow instruction. Lee Golden, I see you on Clubhouse. Thank you so much. I see Dowa Kipelu Agbaman from Ibadan on Zoom. And of course, I see Linda on Gist House from Delta. Come on, guys. Warm up yourself. You got to get engaged. Ese from Ogun State. Esero Gene. Oh, I love that name. Ese from Ogun State. Victor Dafo from Port Harcourt. Come on now. That's all from Zoom. Where are the Clubhouse people? Okay, I've seen Lee. I already announced that. Come on, guys. If you're on Clubhouse, you need to let me know where you're joining from. Dr. Constance Ola from Benin, Republic of Benin. Thank you so much for coming in today. You have been coming in every day. And I know you're also in Clubhouse somewhere. Olu Stingo from London. Good to see you, my brother. I love that. The fact that you are taking the time to join. I've been trying to get you involved in this online stuff. Hopefully today is when you actually catch the fire and decide you are going to join your brother in this amazing journey that I've been taking for a while now. Rafiu on Zoom from Ado Ekiti and Olustingo from London. Okay, let's get going. I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to try as much as possible to explain what's going on to those who are not watching from where there is video. If you're watching on Zoom, obviously you're going to see the full video. If you're watching on Facebook, you're going to be seeing the PowerPoint videos. But Clubhouse and Gist House, I will be giving you the gist. But don't worry, you don't get to lose anything in my trainings. You are going to get the full stuff. Okay, I see. Hold on, let me. Where's my Clubhouse? Clubhouse is I love that place. It's been a big blessing to me. I see Ellie in here. I see Anne Marie and many others. All right, today what we're going to be doing is day 6 of the 21 days of the ChatGPT Monetization Bootcamp. I decided to run that after spending a few months to learn as much as I can about this thing called AI or ChatGPT and how it can help us to create income streams. So my very first book that I wrote is called ChatGPT Business Gold Mines. And I've decided I'm going to give that for free to everybody who attends my bootcamp. So Olufunke and Co. and King Glue, you want to share the link for the, actually we'll share it. I really want them to opt in. I don't know if you have it on an opt-in page now. The least you can do is give me your email to be able to download my free book. So King Glue, let buyer know I need the link where they can go, give me their email and phone number to download the free book. So don't share any links yet unless it is to that particular page. So tell Mr. Bayo I need it before this webinar is over, or rather this masterclass. So please, you wait till the end of the class. I'm going to be giving you a free copy of my book called ChatGPT Business Gold Mines. In that book, I discuss 20 different types of businesses you can start using ChatGPT as your primary tool, as a way of introducing you to this whole explosive new software that is out there, and it's a free software. You don't have to pay for it. My book is $39.99 online. If you have to search it now, that's what you're going to see it as. But I'm going to give that as a free gift to everybody who comes in today. I'm still going to keep selling it. No matter how much I give it out, I know that I see billions of people all over the world who will still pay me for the book. So don't worry about it. So today on day 6, we are going to be talking about how to create your own 6-figure software product in 7 days or less without writing a line of code, especially using ChatGPT or any of the AI tools out there. This is actually one of my signature training that I've been doing for years before ChatGPT even came. And at the end of this presentation today, I'm going to give some of you opportunity on getting my extensive 18-hour training course on how to launch your software. I'm not going to be able to teach how to launch it today because that's a whole new stuff, and I have a special training on that. But I'm going to give you all the information that I have at my little level on how to create a software product. And as you are going to be listening, all right, I want you to please have an open mind. For years, I never believed that I could create or launch a software because I had this mental block that is something that only very technical or rich people can do. But over the next couple of hours, I'm going to prove to you and I'm going to show you, and we're going to learn together how anybody can own a software and make money from it, even though it doesn't have any technical skills. I do not have any myself. And even after 7 years of picking that niche in digital business, I was in several niches before then. Then I decided I was going to focus on software development and launch, as well as coaching and training people in digital business. After 7 years, I still don't code. I still don't have any technical skills, but I've made millions of dollars in sales from creating and launching my own software products. So you are going to be learning that today. I call it guerrilla strategies for creating your own 6-figure software product in 7 days or less without writing a line of code. As a matter of fact, you'll be able to do it now with AI and ChatGPT. You'll be able to actually do it in 24 hours if you're that determined, because the 7 days or less thing was even before AI, was before ChatGPT. So this topic is probably a little bit outdated, but give yourself 7 days. Are we ready? If you are ready to rock and roll this, give me a 10 now. I want to be sure you're with me. Give me a 10. I love interaction. If you're on Zoom, give me a 10. If you're on Clubhouse, give me a 10. If you're on Gist House, give me a 10. I want to see some interaction here. Awesome. I'm seeing it. Osim Joseph from Clubhouse, Lee Golden, Dr. Constance, Senator Sheni Funke Ado. Thank you so much, guys. Ekenwa Ezinwa from Clubhouse. I see you guys. On Gist House, I see King Lou with a 10. Oduwaye with a 10. Oyeleke Amos. And of course, my primary guys on Zoom, they are rocking it. Every one of them is responding. Okay, let's get to it. Now, of course, my style, as you guys know, this is a master class. So it's really not your typical conversation where we just, everybody's getting a microphone to talk. When I'm done with the master class, in about 90 minutes or so, then we are going to have one-on-one discussion on Clubhouse and Gist House and even on Zoom. I'll bring you up on board and we can have a great conversation, including your Q&A, your questions and all that stuff, so that every one of us can benefit from this. Okay, let's go. All right, so the question is that the first thing you need to know is that there are many models of software business. I'm in the business, so I can tell you for free. There are many models. By the time we are done today, you might decide which one you want to be in. There are many areas you can become involved in making money or creating a stream of income from your own software business. On this day 6 of the ChatGPT Monetization Bootcamp that we are doing, it's a free bootcamp. In case you are worried, you are wondering, I'm not charging anybody for this, and this is day 6. It's part of my giving back to the society. It doesn't mean I don't like money. It doesn't mean I don't sell stuff. I do sell stuff, but for me, as many people as possible that I can sensitize into getting involved or creating an income stream for themselves, the better for the whole world, and especially that place called Nigeria, which is my country of birth that I have so much love for. There's so much unemployment out there, and while we are waiting for the government, we have a new government now that I want to believe will actually focus on digital skills empowerment. But until the government gets itself together, we need to do the little we can do. So I'm very big on Nigerians being in these trainings. So if you have a friend that might need an extra income stream, maybe he doesn't have a job, or maybe the money he's making is not enough, or maybe he has enough, like many of us, but wants to also create an extra income stream. Even Dangote, when he sees income opportunities, he looks at it, even though he's practically a trillionaire in Nigerian money. So everybody can use a little extra income stream. So invite your friends and keep sharing this room for me, especially on Clubhouse. We really need to have many people in this room. Help me out here and share the room. In the hallway, share it, invite your friends. Same thing on G-Stars, all right? Those of you on Zoom, share it on your Facebook page. So there are many models of software business if you want to get into this game. There is what they call application development niche. Remember, like I keep telling you guys, every time you get into an industry, you want to niche down. You can't do everything. You pick your own little area of the universe, make your money, and be a happy person. Okay, you cannot do everything. Same way, software as a business is a niche in digital business. But even in that niche, there are sub-niches. And what I want you to do by the time you finish this training is to pick the sub-niche that you want to operate on. So there is the application development. These are businesses that specialize in developing software applications for various platforms, such as mobile apps, web application, desk software, and enterprise. That is the application development niche. There is a software as a service niche, which is the niche I'm in, by the way. That's where I'm in, that's where I've always been, that's where I'm going to probably be for a very long time, okay? Even though I think the application development side, I got into it a bit with Gist House. But for number 2, software as a service, they are called SaaS. When you hear the word SaaS, S-A-A-S, that's what they mean. Because people like to use technical terms to confuse you, make it look like it's very complicated and all of that. No, it's software as a service. What that does is that you provide software applications or services that are accessible over the internet on a subscription basis. Users typically will access these applications through web browsers or mobile apps. A lot of the softwares out there where you are subscribing to be able to use them, or where you have to pay some money to be able to use them, most of them are SaaS. In other words, they provide a service to you and you pay them a subscription every month to be able to have access to their softwares. The 11 different softwares that I have personally launched, 10 of them are SaaS, where I charge people to use it, okay? So there is the enterprise software. These are companies that develop software solutions that is designed for businesses and organizations to address their operational needs, such as customer service relationship management, enterprise resource planning, project management, and all that. Many of those also are by subscription or one-time payments, but those are top-level developments. Then there is, of course, also the cloud computing. These are businesses that offer cloud-based services and solutions, including infrastructure as a service. So they provide you, and it might include software as a service, but they enable organizations to store, manage, and access data and applications remotely. That is where you see things like AWS, IX Web Hosting, and all that. They offer those services. The number 5, data analytics and business intelligence. These are companies that develop software tools and platforms for data analysis, reporting, business intelligence, allowing businesses to extract insights from large volumes of data to make informed decisions. Companies like Alexa and those type of companies, they are what we call data analytics and business intelligence companies that give you or give companies access to data and reporting intelligence and all that. All right. So I'm only going to talk about maybe 8 or 9 of them. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. That's number 6 type of software business you can be in. These are businesses that are focused on developing AI and machine learning software solutions, including natural language processing, computer vision, predictive analytics, recommendation systems, or chatbots. There are many of them now, but some of the most known now is OpenAI, the one that started this whole ChatGPT thing and opened the eyes of all of us, even though they've been doing AI for years. But ChatGPT basically democratized the use of this thing, where everybody now is saying, wow, I can do this, I can do that. So that's why Google Bard is one of them, and there are many like that. Decrypt.io and several other softwares are now emerging, literally thousands who are emerging in this field, and you yourself can play in this niche right now, because it's not as hard as it sounds. Because most of the so-called AI and machine learning softwares out there, they are using the API of the big boys, because the big boys, it's like they are opening up their codes, like OpenAI, like I don't know if Bard AI API is open now, where people can then go there and create their own version of the ChatGPT thing. That's why you have so many of them out there now. Literally hundreds of thousands come up every day. Believe it or not, I myself, I think I have a list of close to 1,000 AI softwares, just by going from different room to the other on Clubhouse, on the internet, to see what came out today and all that. It's all out there. And obviously, it should occur to you now that it can't be that hard to do if they are bringing up so much of it every day. It could not be complicated. It could not be hard to create those what I would say clones of the existing ones, but I'll call it an iteration of something that already exists. So this number 6 is an area I plan to go into now. In fact, I just got my first software in this particular sub-niche. Before, I was operating only on the software as a service niche, but this artificial intelligence and machine learning, I also realized that I could actually play there. And I'm going to show you guys how to do it today. Remember again, I am not technical. I'm not better than you technically. I'm just going to show you the little tricks that I use to be able to play with the big boys. There's also the gaming and entertainment niche. These are companies that create software for gaming purposes, including game development. Again, this has also been democratized. Anybody can create a game in the next 12 hours that they can then put on Google Play Store. The question would then be, how do you launch it? How do you make money with it? How do you create a market, which is a whole different ball game? Like I said, at the end of the presentation, I'm going to give you the opportunity to be able to get a comprehensive training package on how to launch and to start making money with your own software product. But in this masterclass, I'm going to be teaching you how to create, how to get your own business off the table. There's also the cybersecurity, which is very hot now. These are businesses that develop software solutions to protect computer systems, networks, and data from unauthorized access. This includes antivirus software, firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and vulnerability scanning tools. Again, the magic here is that if you decide that you want to be in the cybersecurity subspace, you can begin to create your own antivirus softwares if you want, without having any technical skills with the strategies I'm going to be teaching you today. Another sub-niche I want to mention is educational software. These are companies or individuals that develop software application for educational purposes, such as learning management systems, e-learning platforms, education games, or language learning. Again, with the Gorilla system I'm going to teach you today, you can own your own educational software in under 7 days, probably in the next 24 hours. If you want, and it's not complicated, you don't have to know how to code, you don't have to have any technical knowledge. People who are technical will probably be smiling and be saying it's not possible where they are. But when we are done today, then you can tell me whether I was joking or I was serious. And I'm not talking theory. What I'm going to be teaching today is things that I've done over and over and over 11 times myself. Not to count those that I've helped to launch their own, which is literally in the dozens. So I'm not talking theory. I don't talk theory. I talk what I know. And when I'm talking theory, I'll tell you guys, this one I theory, I never do them. But this one, this niche, this software business, that's where I make a lot of my money on right now. Okay, so I've briefly explained. I'm not spending so much time there because I want. That's not why we're here. I've introduced you to 9 different sub niches of software businesses you can get into. You will then decide. Hopefully, you are making notes. I tell you guys, the fact that this masterclass is free right now does not mean you want to discount the value. The recording itself is going to be sold for $297. The recording of this masterclass. So you know how valuable it is, and you're going to see me sell it online, and you're going to see people buy it. So don't ever think that because you happen to be watching this live one, that there's no value in that, right? So I've explained about 9 different sub niches that you can get into. You can then decide for yourself later as you begin to get into this, which part do you want to go into? Personally, I recommend the software as a service part, and I also recommend the part about artificial intelligence, number 6. Why? Because that is what is hot right now. So if you can get in there, make your own money before the whole thing gets overcomplicated, good luck to you. So also the educational softwares are also hot because that one you are going to be able to create a lot of recurrent income as you go. Even when I won't say fad, when the excitement about AI dies down, like everything else, and we move to something else, educational types of softwares will always be there. All right, so that would be my advice to you. But again, you have the 9 different sub niches that you can go into: application development, software as a service, enterprise software, cloud computing, data analytics and business intelligence sub niche, artificial intelligence, gaming and entertainment software niche, cyber security software niche, and educational software niche, right? Moving on. So once you decide, you can then decide, once you say you want to go into a specific niche, you can then decide whether you want to do it the hard way or the gorilla way. The hard way, hold on, yeah, my system just closed down. I don't know why that is so. All righty, we still have only 10 people in the clubhouse room. That's strange. Guys, please help me share that room. Alrighty, I hope I'm still live because my system just froze. Okay, oops. All right, so you can choose to do this the hard way or the gorilla way. The hard way, obviously, is for you to decide to build your own software from scratch, hire developers, or go learn development code, which will take you months and years and lots of money. Oh, okay, yes, it looks like Clubhouse is having a lot of issue. I just got frozen out. I don't know if I'm back up, but it's okay. Thank God we're on 4 different platforms now. If you're having challenge, maybe you may want to join us on the Zoom call. We are live on Facebook and we are live on Gist House. I encourage Gist House especially. That's our own. Okay, so where was I? Okay. So you can choose to do this the hard way or the gorilla way. Hard way is hard, it's expensive, and very few players can play there. How many of us can afford to hire developers to build softwares for us from scratch? How many of us have the knowledge or the incentive to go and start learning coding because you want to be a web developer? Very few. Now, I'm not saying building from scratch is bad. That is probably the best way for longevity for some, at least they believe. I don't even believe that anymore. Even if I can afford it and all that, I really don't want to build software from scratch anymore, because for the first few months after they build it, you're going to be dealing with bugs. Take Gist House that we built over a year ago. We are still dealing with bugs today because they built it from scratch with no template or anything like that. So it's a very, very hard. Now, of course, when it is stable, it's the best one, because now you own 100% your code, you own everything 100%, and you can boost for yourself, or you can do whatever you need to do with it. But it's never been my favorite. And with my experience so far with Gist House, it's no longer going to be my favorite either. I prefer the Gorilla way. What is the Gorilla way? The Gorilla way is where you actually get the benefit without doing all the hard work, where you get to own the property without spending thousands and millions, thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars in building a software, especially for those of us who are in Africa who don't have access to all that money, all that resources. The Gorilla way is where you get to play with the big boys without necessarily having the big staff. Maybe you don't even have any staff. Maybe you have one that is working with you. So the Gorilla way, I'm going to teach you about 5 or 6 strategies that will allow you to be able to play and own your own software in the next 7 days or less, or even the next 24 hours, without having to spend anything near where you will spend if you want to be a software developer. All right? So you don't need to be a top guru or even a technical person to produce a winning strategy on the internet, especially owning your own software. Gurus hate me for exposing this since I started. Like I said, I didn't start now. It's one of the areas I've been doing for years, literally. The only thing I'm doing is I'm adding AI and ChatGPT capability into doing it even better. Gurus hate me. They feel that I'm devaluing their product, but I don't think I'm devaluing anything. I think I'm bringing in more people into the game. And even if 1,000 people are on this call right now, they're not going to stop my money. They're not going to stop the money of anybody. Why? Because we got over 7 billion people in the world. On this call, if you had Clubhouse, Gist House, Facebook, and Zoom together, it's still not up to 1,000. Even if all the 1,000 go and start doing software business, the market is still big enough for everybody. And everybody will not do it. Even 90% of those who are going to hear these strategies now, they're not going to do it. They're still going to be buying software. So nobody is losing anything. I've faced a lot of criticism over it, but I don't care. It hasn't stopped me from doing millions of dollars in sales in the last 7 years. Despite the fact that my course on how to even launch, which is really supposed to be the secret, how to launch this thing for 6 figures, 5 figures, I have been selling it for more than 5 years. And I'm going to offer it again today for those who are interested in how to launch and how to make money with the software they create. But today, you will learn how to create your own. So first, before we go to strategy, because I like my courses to be comprehensive, like I said, this recording of this presentation is actually going to be sold. So I need it to be very, very detailed. And if you're having problems staying on the call, you can always leave and buy it later. I'm not going to hurry myself because I'm doing a full-blown masterclass on how to create your own software, which is going to be a product that will be out there for people to buy. So first, one of the things I want to cover is, why do you need to produce and launch your own software product? Why is it even a good thing? Why not books? Why not buy and sell on the streets? There are so many options you could have for creating an income stream. But why do you need to produce and launch your own software? I'll quickly run through that in a few minutes. Reason number 1, software has a higher perceived value than ebook or video or training package. You want to work smart. You don't want to just be working. On day 1 of this bootcamp, day 2 of this bootcamp, I taught you how to become a commercial book author, where you can actually, your business could be writing books and making money with those books. And I taught you all those strategies, how to use ChatGPT to write your book in less than 2 hours on how to make money with it, how to take it out there, and strategies to start turning it to money. If you miss that day too, commercial book writing as a business, I want to encourage you. I think the recording is still going to be there till Sunday on my personal Facebook page. You may want to go watch it. We are going to be removing, Mr. Bayo, please note that by midnight on Sunday, all the recordings that is out there already, we are going to deactivate it, and they are all going to be going into a vault of a package that I will be selling. They're my intellectual property. I will sell it for those who might be interested in buying it. Or if you join our Business 360 Club that I'm going to be introducing on Monday, then the recording will be available for you to go over and over. But for now, we have 5 videos there. Today's one will be the 6th one. You want to go search it and go over it if you can before we take it offline. All right. But writing ebooks is not going to make you as rich or as faster as a software, because right now anybody can write a book if they are willing. The days are gone where you need to be go to one secluded place and for inspiration from God or from one muse to be able to write a book. Now you can write a book while you are inside the bus with your phone in your hand, and that book will be excellent. I don't believe that books written with AI have less value than the ones that somebody sat down for 1 year to write. As a matter of fact, I'm a big believer that if you know what you are doing with ChatGPT or Google Bard, any book you write with it will be much better than the one that is written without it. Why? Because your research will be better. Your content will be better researched. Your grammar will be better because ChatGPT writes in perfect grammar. Your spelling will be better. The breadth of your book will be better, because all you need to do is ask ChatGPT what you want to write. You can decide I want to write a 30-chapter book, and then you get your outline, and from there you write. You can say each chapter I want it to be so detailed as to be 4 pages or 5 pages or 10 pages, whatever you want. And ChatGPT will do it for you like a professional who has 50 years experience in writing books. So why would then the value be less? The fact that everybody has access to it does not give your book less value. I will even put it in my books now that this books is written with the assistance of ChatGPT. But I will still charge. In fact, I will charge higher for my book. If you feel that you can go write your own, then go write it. Most people still won't write. Because why would they write? I could use Midjourney to go design banners, but I still pay Mutiu a lot of money every month to do my designs. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to do designs. A lot of people will not want to write book. They just want to read a book that will help them in a certain area. Let somebody else write it. Those who want to lose weight, they're not going to say, oh, because I can go to ChatGPT and start writing my own, they're going to go there. Most will not do that. They want a great book that addresses their problem, and they'll pay you your money. But I digress. As usual. God will have to help me. Okay? Is that what I'm trying to say is that software has a higher perceived value. That's number one reason why you should go to software. Your book might not make you as much money as a software, because people think softwares are much more complicated to create, so they'll pay you a higher value. The highest you can probably sell a book is $39.99, like I'm selling. Yeah, if you're bold, you can put it at $47 or even $100. But how many will buy that? Typically, people sell their books $9.99. In a place like Nigeria, if your book is more than 5,000 naira, very few people will buy it. But if your software is $67 a month to subscribe, that is over 30,000 naira, right? A lot of people will subscribe. If they need the software meets their need, and they will pay you every month for using that software. So imagine getting a subscription of 30,000 naira per month versus a book that you're selling for 5,000. And you probably need the same level of work, maybe a little bit more in software, because there are some moving parts. That's reason number one. Reason number two, software is what sells the most online now. Most people use their books as a lead generator, just like I just did. My ChatGPT Business Gold Mines. I've sold over 200 copies of it without even launching it at 10,000 naira, or call it 5,000. I get 50% discount. I love to give discount for my products. But the truth of the matter is that now I'm giving it to everybody for free because somebody went and shared the book online and I got upset about it. It's a friend who didn't mean it. She went and shared it to a small group of, not small group, that group has like 140 people there. And I got a bit upset that why would you go share my intellectual property with your friends? But I've since learned that she didn't intend to do that. She really somebody who valued me and valued my product very highly. Then it occurred to me, why not give it to everybody who comes to the boot camp? That's what people do. Now I'm giving the book away for free. They have the link now. Eric and Bayer and Co. You can feel free to share that free gift, which I'm giving to everybody who comes in here today. ChatGPT Business Gold Mines, just to sensitize everybody to this game. In that book, I discuss 20 different businesses anyone can start with zero investment. I broke it down what the business is. How do you get started in there? How do you set up your business with it? How do you use ChatGPT to help you in the business? Where do you market your business? How do you market your business? I try to cover that much for each of the 20 businesses. That's why I think it's about 170, 180 pages. So it's a great book that I spent a lot of time on even using ChatGPT to write, because I use it for my research. I use it to get me the websites. I use it to get me all the stuff that I know needed to be in that book. So please feel free to download it. That book is my own tithe to the to the ChatGPT revolution, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to find something there that you can use. Reason number 2, software is what sells most. Number 3, most JVs or affiliates are only interested in promoting software products. Yes, let me put somebody saying what is my Facebook page. For those who may want to go get the training for the last 5 days, I really encourage you to do that before it is out of free pack. At some point, too, I have to make some money now. I have to feed my Olunike Ajoke and my family. You know that as long as Olunike is happy, everybody that knows me knows I'm happy. And Olunike is not happy right now that I'm doing everything for free. She's overdue a new vacation. All right, somebody post the free book link. I'm not promising that I'll keep giving it for free for the rest of this boot camp. I may change my mind tomorrow and collect some money. But if you have it today, please feel free to download the book. They will share the link for you in a minute or before the webinar is over. All right. So number 3 reason why you need to get your own software is that, and that this goes to the money part. Remember, we're talking about how you make money with this. It's one thing for you to create a product. It's another thing for you to sell it and be able to get $100,000 or $50,000 from it. If you're going to sell it and make big money, you need a lot of affiliates and joint venture partners to help you sell it. As I'm going to share with you in a few minutes, my own products, most times 80 to 90% of the money I make with it is made for me by my affiliates. The people already have the list of people who are going to introduce it to their friends and who are going to buy. Most of them will not promote books for you because the value of it is not enough. If you're selling your book $9.99, even if you are giving them 50%, that's $4.50. They're not going to start sending mail out to their people for $5 commission, or they're not going to run adverts for you to sell your product just to get $5 commission. But if you are selling software, which is what they all like to promote, now your software can make them bigger money because your software can be $297, it can be $197, it can be $29 monthly, meaning that if they sell one for you every month, they are getting commission paid to them. So that's the number 3 reason. If you want to do this thing to make money, remember, I'm all about teaching you how to make money. I'm not here to turn you into scholars. How can this become money in my account? That is why I'm recommending you should also have your own software, because that is what those who have the market, that's what they like to do. Number 4, software provides you more opportunity for immediate income and then residual income. You can't get residual income from a book. If somebody buys it from you, they've bought. They're not going to tell them to pay you tomorrow again to read your book. But if it's a software, they can pay you to subscribe, and then if they like it and they are using it, they will keep paying you every month. And my co-host is here, Prof. I want to welcome my friend and so to speak, my mentor too, because when somebody has been where you've never been, I like to follow those who know road. Professor Chris Imafidon is one of the best minds in this AI game and one of the most generous hearts. I've seen the way he loves to give and to teach, and is here today. So, Prof, I see you and much respect, sir. Maybe a quick words before we go on, just to welcome our guest for today. Go, sir. Prof, are you there? Okay. All right, maybe Prof is just coming in. I just rushed him. I didn't let him even calm down. Prof will definitely be coming in to the Zoom account later. Me and him will be taking questions on some of the stuff I'm going to be teaching today. It's been very, very helpful and very, very encouraging as a big brother in this game. All right, so reason number 4 why you need to have your own software is that software provides you more opportunity for immediate income and residual income. I have not launched anything in the last 2 years, but the residual income that I'm making from some of my software is what is keeping me. Because when your software is out there, it's out there. It keeps making you money forever, unlike other forms of income streams. That's another reason why you should take this serious. All right, that's the background. I wanted to make sure you are fully rounded and you know why you are doing this. So the question now is, how can you produce your own launchable software without losing your mind? Because it's easy to say, go do software, but how do you do it without losing your mind and losing your bank account? Guess what? My amazing discovery is that you don't need to be a top guru. I know a lot of web developers, even though some of them on here, they are sneakering, they are doing YIMU, but I can tell you for a fact, you don't have to, because I didn't have to. And I have documented receipts that I've done more than $3 million in selling software in the last 6 or so years, even much more than that. Yeah, one software alone, sorry, the one called Mobimati, in the last 7 years has done over $3 million for us in sales. Now, we are not keeping all that money, don't get me wrong. We are keeping, probably, we are lucky to keep about 20% of that, or 25%. And be very honest with you, because the model we use to sell those $3 million, well, most of it is affiliate marketing. And in affiliate marketing, you're going to be giving 50% commission to those who are making the sales for you. You're going to be paying PayPal 3 to 5% for processing the sales for you. And then you're going to pay whatever platform you are using to sell your products. If you are using a platform, I started out using JVZoo to sell that product. Then later, I took it out of JVZoo and I was selling it directly on my own using webinars. So by the time you start cutting all this money, paying all of that, you might be lucky to end up with about maybe 30% of the sale price, which is not bad. Remember, you're not the one making the sales. People are making the sales for you. Even if you end up with only 10% of the sales, it is still good money because most of it is done for you. So my point is, you don't need to be a top guru or have technical skills to produce a winning software that you can sell on the internet. Most software product launchers, no less than many of you on this call right now, know about how to create software products. Many of you have attended training. Some of you have probably attended my training, but somehow you are still having mental block, thinking that you have to be Michael Zuckerberg before you can create a software. No, it's not true. Even today, you can create a software that looks like and works like Facebook in under 24 hours, and you don't even need to be a technical person. In fact, those are the easiest to do, something like Twitter, something like Facebook, because there are already templates out there that people have created. All you need to do is buy it, and you have your own Facebook tomorrow morning if that's what you want. So it's not creating the software that is the problem. It is how to sell it and how to convert it to money that might become an issue. And that's why I'm going to be offering you my 18-hour training on how to launch your own software for 6 figures. And I'm talking dollars. Going through a case study of a real product launch. But we'll talk about that later. All right. So let's look at the strategies. Like I said, I'm going to teach you about 6 of them. Then we have a conversation on which one is best or which one you should go for. Number one way that you can create your own, not meta blog, mental blog. And everybody goes through it. I went through the mental blog for years. Even though I was an accomplished lawyer already, I've had success in several businesses. For some reason, my brain keeps telling me I cannot create a software because in my head, it is associated with somebody who is very technical or somebody who has a development experience until I finally break through. I'm not going to go over that story again about what happened with me and my coach and all of that stuff. So let's first focus on you creating your own software. Number one, strategy number one, there is what is called developer rights. And these are easily accessible on many sites right now, where you go in there and you simply buy the developer rights. Sometimes those rights are less than $100. All right. Before we even go deeper, Prof, I wanted to join me on Zoom so that if you can, so that those on Facebook, those on Zoom, because we have almost 100 people on Zoom, they can get benefit of seeing you and getting you to. Prof is ready to talk now, but I want to bring him direct to Zoom. That is where things are happening. Instead of putting him inside Clubhouse, where we only have how many people on Clubhouse now? 19 people. And then on G-Stars, where we only have about 30 people. So let him come. Let me know, unless you don't want to come on Zoom, then I'll let you talk from Clubhouse. Prof, are you coming or you want to speak from Clubhouse?
Thank you very much. We're in the palace. We're getting ready for the king's tripping of the colors.
Okay.
So I will join you on Zoom in another 15 to 20 minutes. But now, because of the ease of using the phone,
okay.
That's what we're here. But all the military people and the horses are all getting rehearsal for next week's.
Oh yes, I forgot. Yes, Prof is with the King of England. Whatever they are doing their thing. Oh yeah, quickly give it to us. Give it to us. Then you can come back later. Go, sir. Everybody can hear you.
So please, I'm appealing to you. The information you get here is for action. It's not for notation. You know, when I say something to you, you write it down, and I'm happy. This is not that type of information. This is what you go and do before the end of today. Yesterday, some of you really went and set up your blog post. And some of you have already started seeing visits from people you don't know before. Do you know why? If you are in a popular journal, people will come to you. If you are in a place where people want information, they will get information from you. Like he was saying, this writer's block is a function of the fact that you're overthinking. If somebody is asking you, how do you pass secondary school exam when you're already in West undergraduate? There's no writer's block. When you have already cooked jollof rice, or watch your mom cook jollof rice, or your grandma cook jollof rice, and somebody asks you, how do you cook jollof rice? You just want to ask your mom, and your mom will tell you, and you just write it down and give it to them. So please do not, I repeat, do not be afraid of the market, because you never ever know the market. You don't know the pain of the person that is reading your blog that will make him or her cancel an appointment. A whole minister of the government here in the UK cancelled the day's schedule and came to see me. Cancelled it and came to see me. But what he came to see me for was so useless. Ladies and gentlemen, if you see it, I will not leave my house because of it. He had a pain. And that is why he cancelled everything to come and see me. Himself, his security detail, and his driver, they came down to come and see me. So the information you have that you are taking for granted, I wish somebody can tell you how desperate their divorce is right now. And their divorce will be reversed if they heard what you have been through in marriage. How desperate their situation is, and their death will be reversed if they heard you, how you were able to manage a little real estate. Because they want to hear from the little people. They don't want to hear from the big people. If they hear from the little people, they are going to say, oh, if little you can do it, then me can do it. If they hear from somebody in Africa, so were you able to do that in Africa? Oh, yes, I'll come. Let me also try. So that is the basis of inspiration. Your work is to inspire other people to do what they would otherwise not have done, or do what everyone has told them is impossible. So thank you for that. And like I said, I'm going to go down and pick up the lap and I join you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
For sharing the community.
All right, thank you so much, Prof. Prof is one of the, when many of us thought that AI just started 7 months ago. Prof has been using AI since 2012. When I heard him say it, I'm like, oh my God, people have been cleaning out me. We don't even know it existed. Just like 2 years from now, some people are just going to be finding out about ChatGPT for the first time and be like, what was that? So guys, you are lucky to be in the game this early. And I'm very, very impressed. I want to appreciate every one of you who was here yesterday and who are here yesterday. So many of you have created your blog. You have started putting content on your blog. Just as I taught you yesterday, I'm so super pumped about that. By the time we finish the 21 days bootcamp, we are going to then be talking more about marketing, about monetization of all this stuff. But you need to keep doing the work now. Follow the plan. Follow the blogging plan that you have just developed with ChatGPT. Make sure your content is going on every day. Don't worry, the money is going to come. The hard work before is writing that blog. The hard work before is to think, what content am I going to write? ChatGPT and AI have solved that problem for everybody. It's a level playing ground now. If you want your blog to have 10 pieces of original content every day, now you don't have to steal anybody's content. Now you don't even have to sit down and be overthinking. All you need is the idea of what you want to write. Even if you don't have an idea, ask ChatGPT. I would like to post 4 different contents on my blog today. Can you advise me, or can you give me 4 great ideas of what people would like to hear and that will bless people today? ChatGPT will give you. And then when it gives you those 4 options, you now say, okay, take that number 1. I want you to write a complete article. Make it a 500-word article, make it a 1,000-word article, and make it original. Do not plagiarize. Do not steal from somebody. In 5 to 10 seconds, ChatGPT will write it for you. I'm going back to yesterday again because a prof mentioned it a bit. It is a breakthrough moment for many of you. So if you don't have a blog now, that's your fault, because God has given us ChatGPT. And you have seen one human being doing 50 million, 60 million naira in Nigerian money with just one blog. Yeah, you may not get there in the next 2, 3, 4 years, but what if you can get to where your blog is giving you 1 million naira a month within 3 months from now? That will not be bad. 1 million is just about a little over $1,000. It's not hard. The question then is, are you going to do it? So for all those of you who have created your blog, don't let it just die there. You already have a strategy now. You have been able to do it. You all have ChatGPT, which is free. Be brutal with yourself and keep doing it. And if you don't know what we're even talking about, you need to join us in the WhatsApp group. We have a WhatsApp group for ChatGPT Business Club. I'm going to be moving the main club to Facebook very soon because we're getting too big. But for now, it is free and we can all be there. They will post the link for you in a minute. Please, guys, post the link to the WhatsApp group. Wherever you are, my assistants, the one with me on Zoom, I needed to post the link for people to join the WhatsApp group. For those on Clubhouse, Funke, can you help me post the link to join the WhatsApp group? And King Glue, for those on Gist House, please post the link for them to be able to join our ChatGPT WhatsApp group. Okay, let's keep going. We're talking about the first strategy. The first strategy to be able to, sorry, something is blocking my way. Okay, I hope my slide is clear for those of you who are on Zoom. There's nothing blocking it, right? All right, if it is clear, I need you guys to give me a 1. Is there anything blocking you from seeing it? What is blocking? Something is blocking it? What? Okay. Let me, I don't know what is that. Let's see how this one looks. All right, it should be clear now, I think. Right? Is it clear? Okay. All righty. Okay, let's keep going. So one of the ways you can get into the software game is to buy developer rights. That's the first strategy, your first guerrilla strategy. You buy developer license rights from key sites, and then you have someone customize it for you. That is the first guerrilla style. You don't need to know anything about how to code. You don't need to know anything about development. You go to the key sites, and I'm going to give you some of them in a minute. All right? Using ChatGPT, I'll tell you what to type, and I'll show you some of the stuff that I saw. All right, so you can, once you buy those developer rights, then you go to sites like guru.com, upwork.com, fiverr.com, or warrior forum. There's so many other sites where there are people who will help you mount that code that you just got, who will help you put it on a website that you decide, for most of them for less than $100. That's even if you don't know how to install it yourself. Most of them, especially on Fiverr, you're going to have some who are offering to do it for you for $10. Some are offering to do it for you for $30. Some are offering to do it for you for $50. Now, before we go back to that, let's see some sites where you can get these developer rights for this first strategy. I'm going to give you about 10, and I'm going to go over it quickly because I want us to finish this masterclass on a note that we can also have time to talk. I have 2 hours to do this presentation. Code Canyon is one of the most popular. CodeCanyon.net, Unity Asset Store, Envato Market, market.envato.com. There's CodeStar, which is codestar.com. There is BeanPress, beanpress.com. There's Chupa chupamobile.com. There's Sell My App, sellmyapp.com. There is codeclerks.com. And I hope somebody is typing some of this thing into the chat for those who cannot see the screen. Funke, you want to try and start typing some of these websites in the screen. And King Glue, you also want to do the same for those who are on Gist House, okay? CodeCanyon.net. Let me see if I can, because they're not answering me. Let me see if I can post some myself in the chat. Just give me a minute. I know I have it somewhere. I did the research. Believe it or not, this morning, you just type into ChatGPT. Let me tell you what to type into ChatGPT, or if you want me to, why don't I even go to ChatGPT and show you? After all, you can either use Google Bard or you can use ChatGPT, all right? For those of you who don't know what ChatGPT is, this is ChatGPT, right? I'm going to, don't want to do that. So let's say, you can say, sorry, I'm not, let me share my screen. Share screen. Okay, this is my ChatGPT open. This is Google Bard. Google Bard is the one that is owned by Google. ChatGPT is the one that everybody knows. So using ChatGPT, for instance, okay, I can say something like, hold on here. Say something like, I am a software publisher and marketer. Please list top 10 websites where I can get software with developer rights, since that's what we are talking about now. Developer rights that I can use to start my own software business. something as simple as this simple prompt. I'm a software publisher, or I'm an aspiring, yeah, even telling that I'm new. I'm an aspiring software publisher and marketer. Please list the top 10 websites where I can get softwares with developer rights that I can use to start my own business. Your English don't need to be perfect. The thing is so smart, it will understand you. As you can see, immediately I hit enter, it told me, immediately I hit enter. Where is this? There's this thing blocking me too, safe here. Hide, where is it now? Hide floating control. Okay, so it gave me 10. As you can see, this is exactly what I also did earlier, but it gave me 10 and added 1 or 2 more that I didn't put in my own. Code Canyon, Envato Market, Sell My App, Shuba Mobile, Codesta, Flipper, Beampress, Game Gorillas, Creative Market, AppSumo. That's it. All you then need to do is click on those sites one by one and go check it out for what you want. How hard can that be? This is me using ChatGPT to find it. You can ask for 10 more if you want, but remember, you don't need plenty. You only need 1 or 2 that you can use, and you only need 1 or 2 to get what you need, and you're good to go. Okay, where is my stuff here? Now this, let me stop sharing this and then bring up my slides again. Sorry guys, this flipping up and down is a problem, but this is what it is. All righty, so we are back to the all right. I hope you guys can see my you can see my screen now, right? Can you guys see it? Can you see it? I used to see my screen. Okay. All righty. So let's keep moving. My point is that you use developer rights. You go to any of these websites. They have softwares with developer rights. What that means is that the people who have created the software, they have used all their web development skills. They've used all their experience to create the software. Now, see, blockers keep coming up in random places. That must be your own problem. It's not coming up here. Is everybody experiencing that?
Yes, Dr. Ben.
Yes.
That's why I came up.
Yeah.
There's still black something coming up on the left, on the right. So I don't know if you want to refresh the screen at all.
Yeah, it's not about my, it's very clear on my own screen. I don't know what's going on. It's only very clear. I'm sorry.
Come again.
What?
It's going off and on, so just refresh it.
Refresh what? The site or the
screen of your computer, which is probably the slide.
Nothing is coming up. Yeah, but would I see it if it's coming up? I'm saying my own side, there's nothing coming up. It's very clear. I don't know if it's okay. Let me just share only not my screen, maybe just the PowerPoint side. But the problem with that is I can't switch from one screen to the other without stopping the share. It's okay. It is what it is. At least you can hear. For those of you who are still seeing black screen, consider yourself blessed now. There are people on G-Stars who can't see any screen. There are people on Clubhouse who cannot see anything. So let's just manage it like that. From my own side, I can assure you, I don't have any black anything popping up. So I don't know. All right, but you can see something now. Eli, you can see something right now, right?
Oh yes, we can see the list of the websites.
All right. So the bottom line, any of these sites, or use ChatGPT to get more yourself. I just showed you on my own ChatGPT how to prompt it. Let it know I want to go into software business. Give me 10 different websites I can get software. If you have also picked the type of software you want in your head, let's say you want to, it's a mobile app software you want to create, or maybe a video software you want to create. You prompt it like that. I am a software publisher or software marketer. List the 10 places where I can get developer rights to softwares that enable me to do social media, or that is audio sites. I'm going to show you all of that. So that is strategy number one. It's not complicated. Some other places, I'm just going to skip all of this because I had all of this as part of that. So that is strategy number one, because if I over explain, you're probably never going to finish today. You go to these sites, look for the type of software you want, buy it. Typically, they are between $49 and under $200. I don't know of many that are more than that. If it is a developer rights, they're not expensive. So you get it, and then what you then do is you go to guru.com. You go to these freelancing websites. There's many of them. There's freelancer.com. There's upwork.com. There's Fiverr. There's guru.com. There's Warrior From. Many of them are just Google freelancing websites to get developers. ChatGPT will tell you. Go to ChatGPT and ask it. When you get in there, you search for people who can install software codes. It is very simple. I'm being tempted to actually go to one of those sites and show you, but I'm going to resist that. We'll go later. But if you go to fiverr.com and just type a web developers, there are thousands of them. And then you place your order, you click on one of them and you say, oh, I have a developer rights code that I need to be installed on my domain so that I can get customers to purchase it. Describe what you want. Most on Fiverr would definitely charge you less than $100. You will get for $20. You will get for $30. I'm practically sure of that. I don't want people to give themselves excuse to, oh, is somebody that activated I know what is causing the problem now. I don't know who activated that. I need the transcript. I didn't ask for that. So that is what is trying to come up. Whoever did it, the annotate, okay, I think that black thing should have gone away by now, right? Is anybody seeing that black stuff? It's coming from the annotation. Somebody activated the annotation. I don't know who did that. So I'm going to try to deactivate it in a second. Ready? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to log on to one of these freelancing sites and show you what is there. Because if I don't show you this, you might still be thinking that this thing is difficult. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, here is my, the annotation thing is still coming up. Damn. Can anybody confirm for me that this black stuff, because I'm like that, it's starting to bother even me that you guys are having that problem. Is the black stuff still showing up or not?
A little bit.
But you can still see the screen though. That's important.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's just manage it like that. Okay. I don't know how to remove it. I don't see it, but too many of you are seeing it for me to discount it as if it's something that is not there. So it's there. Right. So let me remove that. Okay. So we are now on Fiverr. For those of you who are watching on Zoom, for those of you on Clubhouse and Gist House, we're on Fiverr, which is one of the freelancing sites. And all I type at the top is web developer, as you can see. I type web developer here, and then it brought up literally 19,000 services available. So there's plenty of people there. So any of these guys, okay, there's this one says, I will develop modern WordPress website for that's even not what you want. You are looking for, I would do design. You are not looking for that. You are looking for somebody who will actually install. Let me just put, let's try code installation. By the way, any of those guys that you see that are web developers, they can do this for you, but I'm going out of them because there are some of them are charging more than $100, and I know that you don't need up to that to get your stuff uploaded for that. There you go. $10, $15, as you can see. I will install conversion tracking code to track your sales. I will install Shopify video code. I will install app to copy whatever you search. They're all there that you got. Now, of course, not to make this thing too simplistic so that the purist among us will not say, oh, it's not teaching them the right thing. Now, remember, if you buy developer code, sometimes you want to put in your, where's my Zoom? My Zoom thing is, are you guys seeing me? I'm done. Can you guys see me? I'm not going to switch up and down again. I'm getting confused. Are you guys seeing me on the screen? I can't see myself on Zoom anymore. What's going on? Did I close Zoom? Uh-oh. Are you seeing me on Zoom or not? Is the question.
Yeah, I can still see you on Zoom.
So where am I now? Me that I'm on Zoom, I can't see myself.
You've just moved your window, I think.
I'm looking for the window and it's not showing. It's showing that it was closed. Are you sure Zoom is still live?
Yeah, I can see you on Zoom. Except if you've closed your presentation.
Yeah, my presentation is closed. It's not the presentation.
It's back now.
Okay. Am I back?
I think it's the presentation is disappeared again.
Okay. There we go. All right. I think I see myself now. Okay. So you go to Fiverr or any of the freelancing sites, and then you go out there and then you get a developer to install this for you. Okay. That is where I'm going to leave that because it's starting to cause problem for me. Let me focus on what I'm teaching here. All right. So if you need more help with that, when you're in the group and you want to all right, my PowerPoint is back on now, right? It's a yes or no I need to hear. Is it on? Is my PowerPoint slides back on? Yes or no, guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, so let's keep going. So that's strategy number one, because time is going here. Strategy number two is open source software to develop your own. You use open source. This is my personal own preference when it comes to software development. This is my personal preference. Many of my softwares are open source. I will explain what that is. This strategy number two, you find, create, and publish open source software for free. Now, you might be wondering what exactly this is. What is open source software? It's a software which is openly available, whose code is openly available that anyone can inspect, modify, enhance, or use to create their own software. Many of the so-called AI tools that we have been seeing, most of them were created because they are using the open source code of OpenAI.com, OpenAI rather. What happened is that OpenAI decided to open up their source code, meaning those who know how to extract that source code to create their own version of ChatGPT cannot do it in literally a matter of hours, if not days. There are many softwares out there in the world where people have created the software, but they now make it openly available for the whole world. You might be asking yourself, why would they do that? You know, people come up with an idea that they want to develop a software for something. And then they put it in what is called the open source sites. I'm going to give you some of them in a minute. And developers from all over the world who are interested in contributing to that project will then join and provide their services for free. But under the condition that whatever we end up creating, nobody will own the copyright to it. That is what is called an open source. In other words, you can go there and take it. Or people might create a software with their own money and decide that they want to make their code open to the public for whatever reason. So that public can then use that to create maybe more plugins for them, to create more variations and all that. In fact, Apple opened up its source code for major areas of that, for instance. That's why you see a lot of apps, a lot of tools being created that works with Apple phone or Apple system. But people are selling it because Apple opened up its source code. Same way with many of the big softwares out there. It's called open source. It's part of that software that most computers don't ever see is the code, a source code. It's part of what the software that most people don't see. Is the code computer programmers can manipulate to change how a piece of software or program or application works. So programmers who have access to the computer program source code can improve that program by adding features to it and fixing parts that don't always work correctly. So the beauty of open source is because so many developers work on it, they're normally very robust. That's why I love it as my own primary source of creating my own software. Lots of people have worked on it. Lots of people have worked on the bugs. Lots of people are working on the bugs every day. So most of those softwares, once they are open, they allow you to be able to take that code and create your own version of that software, which then becomes easy for whatever developer you are using. Now you don't need to pay big money to any developer to build you a software. You're already giving them the code, which is one that costs money. The only thing that I need to do is put it on your own platform, and then you own the software. Now, of course, most source codes have rules. Some of them, they say what they call enterprise copy. Even though the software is free, anybody can go there to download it and use. If you want to create your own business under your own brand, using that source code, sometimes they charge you for what they call enterprise fee, which most times is less than $1,000. Some are like $200, some are $297, some are $497, many are $997. Several of the ones that I've used, they are the $997 enterprise copy. And I can tell you for free, the software I'm going to be using as a case study later that I launched, my very first launch ever of a software. And like I said, a lot of developers don't like me sharing this. The very software I launched, where we did $375,000 the first 5 days, and $430,000 the first month. It was my very first software that I launched. It was an open source code. I did not develop the software. All I simply did was go there and buy the source code for $997, the enterprise version, which is one that allows me to create my own business, my own brand, using that source code and sell it and do whatever I want to do with it. So it's all 100% legit. It's called a source code. And that, to me, for those of you who want to run serious business down the road, open source code is my #1 recommendation. Because with open source, you can modify it and put some new features that you want that is not in the original. You can modify it and remove some features that you don't want as you go to be able to separate your own software from the rest. As a matter of fact, my first AI-powered software that I just created, that I'm going to be launching in the next couple of weeks from now. Right now I'm working on sales page, the sales copy and all of that stuff. I use open source. This thing that I'm telling you is what I'm using. And that software is called Funnelmatic. It's a funnel builder. I'm going to be launching it, and I expect to do 6 figures with it in the next 1 month or so. When I say 6 figures, I'm talking dollars. Why? Because I know how to do the launch. The launch is the key. How to launch it to make money, which, like I said, that one is not going to be covered today. That's a separate training that I'll give you opportunity to buy. I'm not providing that one for free. All right. But to own your software, obviously you can. I have done it 11 times. And out of those 11, I think about 5 or 6, I use this strategy, this guerrilla strategy. I search for open source code for the type of software that I want, and I'm going to show you how to do that using ChatGPT now. Before ChatGPT, it was harder for us to get because many of them are, when you search by source code, it doesn't come out. They have different ways they've done it. But with ChatGPT now, you can tell ChatGPT to go search the internet and give you those websites where source codes are hidden. And then you go to those source code sites, download it, and use it. It's a very funny story. My very first open source, my very first software that I launched, which is called Mobimatic. It's myself and Ifiok, my partner. We launched that software in November 2016. That was my very first software in this game. Even though I've been in internet marketing about 4 years before then, but my very first breakaway success was November 2016. For it to be worth my level of attention, after all, I have a lot of stuff going on for me as a lawyer and as a business person. So making 20,000, 30,000 really wasn't going to be something that would make it worthwhile for me. But that was the first breakthrough we got. We bought that open source software for $997, $1,000, because it was very robust. It's called the enterprise version. And then we put it up and we did $430,000 the first 30 days. I'm not saying that's what you are going to do. But what I'm saying is that you can get your software up and ready to go in a matter of weeks, a matter of days even. Okay, and then it becomes a software that you make money on for the rest of your life if you want. You may not even launch it in the places that we have launched your own. You might decide that you just want to be selling it through social media or through advertisement. You will be making your money every week. You might decide that you want to be using Clubhouse to sell your own software. That's okay. You open your room, you talk about it, you offer it. It has value. The fact that you use open source code does not mean it's not a good software. I know many of you will be surprised. How many of us on this call have heard about Mozilla Firefox? Mozilla Firefox. If you have, give me a 1. If you have heard of Mozilla Firefox, the what do they call it now? Web browser. It's like a Microsoft Chrome or whatever. Yeah, Mozilla Firefox. What if I had to tell you that it's an open source code? That Mozilla, as powerful as it is. So if you want to own your own web browser today in the next 12 hours, all you will do is go to the place where the software of Mozilla Firefox is. I think it's in just escaped my head now. I'm going to get to the website. Or you can ask ChatGPT. You go there. I don't even think they're selling the enterprise version there. But the question is, can you make money with it? Do you know how to launch it for it to generate money? Is there a market for you creating your own web browsing software? That is the only difference. So some of the most robust softwares out there, they are open source. This same ChatGPT that we are talking about, the code that they use to create it is available in openai.com. OpenAI.com. They've released the API, maybe not the full source code, but they've released the API of it, meaning that if you have the right developers, you can create any AI tool that works like ChatGPT or even better. People are creating it. All these AI tools where you hear the script, you hear all those stuff. They are all variations of the OpenAI for OpenAI source code. Anyway, let's keep going. We are talking open source now. In general, open source licenses grant computer users permission to use open source software for any purpose that you wish, even though some of them for you to create your own platform with it, where you are now charging people and collecting money from people for it, you have to pay some extra amount. You have to get a special license for that so that you're not plagiarizing them. I always do. And like I just told you, it always ranges from anywhere from $67 to maybe $1,000, depending on what that software is. So let's get to those places where you can get this if you want to play this strategy. What are the best places to get open source AI? Remember, open source software means, what is going on? Did they hack me? Please move this window to the shared application. What the hell? Is it an extension? Hey, ChatGPT has hacked my, I didn't type this, but it's bringing it anyway. Open source initiative, what is that? I don't even know what. Jesus, where is my slide? Okay, I think ChatGPT is hearing me and they want to fight me now. Right here, let me go back to. So we are talking about open source software as a, just give me a second here. I want to be sure I'm sharing my screen. There you go. There you go. I don't know what's going on as far as my stuff that is showing this black, but we just have to manage it and keep going. So we're in open source now. Hopefully everything is cool now. If you're on the Zoom, please let me know if we are still together. I don't know what's going on with my stuff. All right. You can see my screen, right? So open source softwares give computer users permission to use open source software for any purpose they wish, which include you starting your open source and your own software business, which includes using for yourself and not selling it, doing whatever you want with it. And how do you get that? Because remember, you don't need to be technical to go and get it. So when you get it, then you go and hire a freelancer for a little amount of money to put it up for you, and your software is ready to go. Here it is. Let's look at some sources of this, with the best places to get now. Because there are so many types of AI, so many types of softwares. First, I will show you where you can get AI softwares that you can launch as your own. Because AI type of softwares, like I said in my introduction, is one of the this type of softwares that is selling the most now. Even though your software doesn't have to be AI, it will still sell. Remember what I mentioned about 9 different sub niches. One of them is creating AI and machine learning software. But where do you get that if you choose to go in that direction? Again, you just type on your ChatGPT. I don't want to remove this screen because I'm having so much challenge getting back to it. So all of us will just have to enjoy it like that. But this is what you can type. Let me give you a good prompt, so that all you need to do is type that into your system and it will give you. This is what I typed this morning to get this list I'm about to give you. I'm a software publisher. Now this is the prompt you give your ChatGPT. If you still want to go do research after I give you the names, after that you don't really need, but learn it. I'm a software publisher. My model of business is to find open source software and then repurpose them to create my own software as a service business. Now, I want you to list 10 best platforms where I can get open source software that I can customize to create my own software as a business. That was the general thing I want to. Let me go to the one about the AI. Sorry, because we are going to come to that in a second. I'll read it again. I want you to list 10 best platforms I can get open source softwares for that I can customize to create my own AI-powered software as a business. And then it went, after 15 seconds, this is what it gave. It gave me 10 awesome sites where I can go to get AI type of softwares, AI-centric or AI-powered software that I can launch and call it an AI software. And I've just done one. But I'm telling you the site it gave me here, github.com. GitHub is a popular platform for open source software. You can search related, if you want to get AI products, is what I mean. You can search for AI related repositories using keywords like AI, machine learning, or specific frameworks such as TensorFlow or PyTorch, if you even know what that is. You don't need to know. Just type AI-related repositories. When you get to GitHub, because GitHub is what they have there is what is called repositories. This is where people gather together to build the softwares. And it's open. People join, and then developers join and add their content and help to work. And then you, as somebody who is a hustler, a gorilla, or a gorilla software developer, you can then go in there, get the software under their terms. Most times, like I said, it is free to the public. If you are going to be creating your own business with it, some of them have rules in terms of how much you need to pay and all of that stuff. Make sure you read the rules very well, okay, so that you don't go and plagiarize and call my name, okay? GitHub has its rules. Make sure you read the rules before you start using their software. The second one, GitLab, that's gitlab.com. You can find AI software by searching for relevant keywords and categories. You can say, I'm looking for an AI software in the area of audio or video or machine learning or schools, whatever type of software that you want, or graphics, which is one I've just tasked a developer to go get for me. I said, go to these places. I want you to get me 4 or 5 AI graphic design softwares. I need one of them so that I can create my own AI software. I want to redesign Designer. Designer is my graphic design software, but it's old school. It's outdated now because AI is what is waiting. I don't want to continue to sell a graphic designer that doesn't have AI. Canva, that we patterned designer art after, already has AI included in their own software now. Canva has AI in it. So that means designer, that's DESIGNA, which is my own software for graphic designs. That means we have to go AI too. Means that I'm going to have to redesign the whole software. So now I'm looking for open source AI to use for that. And if any of you, while you're executing some of this stuff, if you see some of them, send me a link, send me the links. I'm looking for AI graphic design software, and they're all on these sites. I just haven't had time to go there myself. I like to go look for it and then call the developer. But while you guys are doing this, okay. Number 3 website, TensorFlow. If I tell you some of the softwares that are open source from this site, you are not going to believe me. And I won't mention them because I don't really want to debrand anybody. Some think it's debranding, you're lowering the value of their product. I don't think so. I just told you my own. Mobimatic was an open source software. What does that mean? Is that going to not make me make my $3 million that I've made in sales? All right. So for me, transparency is very important. It doesn't mean your software has no value, because that same software that you got through open source, if you're going to get it developed, might cost you $100,000 and 6 months to even get it close to that. Why would you want to go do that? To me, I've never understood that. If I can get an open source code that I'm going to pay between $200 and $1,000 for, why will I go hire a team of developers to build for me from scratch? The only time I've done it is this Gist House, because there was no open source code available when I decided to build one. I'm sure there'll be plenty now. But when Clubhouse came out and we were inspired to go create the Afrocentric version of it, there was no open source a code for Clubhouse available, or a software like Clubhouse. But I guarantee you right now, if you go search, there'll be plenty. So if I were to be trying to build Gist House right now, I'm not going to hire those a team of 4 developers that I paid for over 1 year, spending over $20,000 a month, because they were just doing trial and error. They also were not getting it right. Spending almost $500,000 now on the thing in less than 2 years of work, which is stupid. Okay, if I'd waited and open source code is available, it would not have even cost me $10,000 to get Gist House up and running. It would not become a marketing problem. Because one thing to have a software, it's another thing to have people using the software, which is what we have now. Gist House is working very well. But how many people do we have in there? Because we have not really executed the remarketing plan to get as many people there as possible. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the fact that you are getting open source does not mean your software has no value. As a matter of fact, some of the most valuable, some of the most robust softwares out there are open source. I just gave you Mozilla Firefox. It's an open source software. But how awesome is it? You use it. It is free to download, yes, but they do in-app sales. They have upsells and all that. They have a antivirus software that they sell you. TensorFlow, you can get AI-related softwares there. There is pytorch.com, pytorch.org. For those of you who are not seeing my screen, pytorch.org. I'm expecting my assistants to please be helping me to do this. I don't know if Funke opened up and then decided to just go somewhere else. Same thing with King Lou. If I don't see you typing this in the screen, then I'm going to assume that you are not on the call. And you're my special assistants. That's your job. Please do it. All right. TensorFlow.org. Sorry, TensorFlow Hub. The website for it is tfhub.dev. Thank you, Lee Golden. Lee Golden is helping me to type this, and I really appreciate you. GitHub.com, GitLab.com. Number 3 is TensorHub, which is tfhub.dev. TensorFlow is actually TF, T for Tom, F for Frank, HUB.dev. That is one for TensorFlow, not Lee. That number 3, I don't think that's the correct URL, is TF, Tom, Frank, HUB.dev. Dev, D-E-V, Olufunke. All right, tfhub.dev. I see what you're typing, it's not correct, but okay. It's not DF, it's TF. King Lou, T for Tom, F for Frank, H for Henry, U for University, B for boy, .dev. And put the www in there so that it can be clickable for those who want to click. Number 4, there's PyTorch, which is PY, T for Tom, ORCH.org/hub. In there, you get this AI-powered software. Number 5, Kaggle, K for King, A, GG for God, GGLE.com. Kaggle.com/code. It hosts various open source AI projects and competition where you can access the code repositories that is shared by the community. Open source, they share it straight out for you. Funke, I didn't talk about Python. Please do not type what I didn't say. I don't know if you are the one doing this teaching on me. I never said python.com. So I don't know where you got that from. Please do not share while I'm doing my master class. I didn't ask for you to give me ideas. I want to teach what I have, what I know. Then when we come to discussion, then others can suggest what they have. That way, they know that I'm not the one that said it. We're all just learning. I want to be responsible for what I said. Number 6, Model Zoo by NVIDIA. Model Zoo by NVIDIA. Okay, www.ngc, N for Nancy, G for God, C for code, .NVIDIA, N for Nancy, V for victory, I for India, D for dog, I for India, and A for apple. Okay? ngc.nvidia.com. Number 7, this is github.com. That one you can, if you actually want to search for topics, you don't know what you are really looking for, and you want to see topics that are available there, github, github.com/topics/AI. So if you want to know all the AI open source projects that are going on right inside GitHub, that is the website to use. And then there is the Open AI GitHub. This is where people are doing great things with the Open AI code. Because the Open AI code is open source. Now they've given access to the API. What you create from it is also open source. All right. And finally, I really like this one, Hugging Face models. It is known for its extensive collection of natural language processing models. You can find open source code and pre-trained models for various neuro-linguistic programming tasks, such as text classification, named entity recognition, and machine translation. So a lot of those AI tools that you keep hearing in all those rooms, oh, this AI tool can do this, this AI can do this. Many of them were created with Hugging Face, or they were created from codes that were available there. It's amazing what you get when you are in the business and you know where to go and look. All right, and finally, number 10, AI Commons. AI.commons, COMMONS.org. This is a community-driven platform that provides open source AI code, data sets, and models. It focuses on democratizing AI by sharing resources and promoting collaboration. I know there are some people in this world, all right? There are some people in this world who really want everybody to have access to everything. There are some who want to keep it. They don't want people to know. They want to keep it secret. So these AI common people, their own is that let everybody be able to have access to an AI source code and create tools as they want. It's not going to stop anybody's market. I'm with them, okay? I'm all about putting the information out there. It does not mean everybody will go out there and do it. Some do not need the problem. They don't want, or they go get the code. Now they have to go look for a developer on Freelancer or freelancer.com or Fiverr to help them install it. They don't even want to maintain the software. Because when you start selling it and people are subscribing, now that's your software. If it breaks down, you have to figure out how it's going to work. You have to have a developer that you can go to, either on retainer, just like I'm trying to do with GStars now, that I can't have full-time developers working all the time. When we don't have funding, it's too expensive for me. I'm going to reduce them to 1 or 2. And then if we want to update, then we do it by contract. We get developers together and say, okay, we need updates on this software, and then we give it to them. Because we don't have mega funding now. Maintaining software can be expensive if you don't do it right. And I'm going to be explaining how to do it with very minimum cost as you go. But that's about 10 sites. Are you having fun here? Are you getting some great revelations that give me a 10 if you think this is dope? If you think you're getting great value for your time tonight. Remember, it's a free workshop. I'm not charging you anything, at least on this live one. The recorded one, if you are listening to recorded ones later, yes, we have to run it as a free service out there. Unfortunately, you are not there. When I did that, now you got to pay for it. So in case you are watching this, as somebody who paid me $297 to get it, yes, actually run the original one for free. I'm putting that into the recording so that those who will buy this later, they don't say, but it's free. It's only free to the original guys who are watching this today when I'm running this. Okay, guys. All right. I see Ligoden say so much value. Thank you so much. Patience. Constance say 10. Olawi Ajala. I see that. Lots of 10. Lots of amazing. Thank you so much. I'm here to serve, to blow open all these big secrets that people are giving you the impression you cannot get in the game. It's never too late. You can get in the game today and be on your way to your own 6-figure income in less than 3-4 months. I'm serious. We'll talk about that towards the end. Okay, that is for if you want to launch an AI-based software. Simply because AI softwares is what is rocking now. All those softwares they are sharing with you in all those clubhouse rooms, all those GStars rooms. Trust me, you can have your own in the next 2 months, in the next 1 week that you two will be sharing. That's for people to go and check out. And that will be good. And they pay you money. It's out there in that Hugging Face or so. I think I ran into the one about voice cloning. I can't remember if it was huggingface.co that I saw that, but it's one of these 10 AI Commons. Meanwhile, that's a software that I subscribe to the one called play.ht. Is $50 a month, $480 for an annual subscription. I did the annual and I paid $480. Did I waste money? No, it's good money spent. But I saw that same code in one of these open source software. So that if I want to own my own play.ht right now, I can own one in the next 48 hours. All I need is to then get somebody to install that code for me. I don't need anybody to go do coding. I don't need anybody to go. They should just install the open source code. Then I can come to Clubhouse and tell you guys, oh, this is a new software on this, go check it out. And when you check it out, it's not going to be inferior to what you already know because they are using the same code. That's the key. I just told you my funnel builder is ready. I'm going to launch it next week, whether on Clubhouse, on JVZoo or Warrior Plus or wherever I choose. And it works perfectly. It's open source. So you have no excuse. That is strategy number 2. Open source software that you can launch. Okay. Now let's move to video related software. You might decide that it's videos because video softwares also rock. Where your video, either your software creates videos or helps people to turn text to videos or whatever, you can own one of your own that will then become your business that you charge people money for and they pay you great money for. Here it is. Again, you can just simply go to your ChatGPT. Let me give you the prompts. Nothing complicated. You go to your ChatGPT and you tell it, because ChatGPT is your dog. Whatever you tell it to do, it's going to do. It's a machine learning software. I don't subscribe to that rubbish that AI will control us. They can never control us. Somebody has to give them instruction. The day they start giving themselves instruction without anybody telling them anything, then maybe I would then know that, okay, it's time. We are all done. But for now, whatever you tell it, they didn't born its mother. It has to answer you. So here is a prompt for that. Again, very similar to what we did before, nothing different. I'm a software publisher. My model of business is to find open source software and then repurpose it to create my own software as a service business. I'm especially interested in the video niche for software. Now, I want you to list 10 best platforms where I can get open source software that I can customize to create my own video software as a service. Okpari, nothing complicated. He gave me this. Number 1, ffmpeg.org. Number 2, opencv.org. Number 3, blender.org. Number 4, kdnlive.org. Guys, be tapping it for those who cannot see my screen so that they can have something to take away, save that, and then you can go explore it and do what you got to do later. My job is to give you the information. All right? Where is my man? Where is Lee? Lee, don't sleep on me now. Help me out here. Okay, Funke is slow. F as in Frank, mpeg, mpeg.org. Second one, OpenCV. CV is C for Charlie, V for Victor. OpenCV.org. Number 3, Blender, BLENDER.org. Number 4, KDNlive.org. Number 5, Handbrake, HANDBRAKE.FR. I think that probably was created by a French person. Number 6, Shortcut.org. Number 7, OBS has even been around for a long time. A lot of people have created softwares like Zoom, softwares like, what's that one that I use? It took me a while to even realize that was an OBS studio software. I forgot the name. We were paying $10 a month for it for a couple of years. It came out around the time of COVID. obsproject.com, you can create a very, very robust video software that works like Zoom. I'm not joking with you. Probably even better than Zoom self. So that it's all done. It was thousands of people created that software as an open source stuff. So when you go to obsproject.com, you can actually download it. I think that one is even free. I don't even think you have to pay for the ability to customize it to your own. You are not just going to need one or two developers to help you install it, and they will be very cheap. I've told you where to go to install this. It is that simple. Number 8, Avidemux. AVIDEMUX as in X-ray.org. AVIDEMUX.org. Number 9, Media Info. That's mediaarea.net. And number 10, videoland.org. Videoland, videolan.org/VLC. That's 10 open source websites where you can get video related software that you can go download and own your own video creation software or video management software or video related software, things like Zoom and things that has to do with video. Some of them create their video creators where you can create video from text. Some of them you're able to create video from audio. You just simply go through them, take time and see what they do, what the sites do. If it's not that my Zoom is acting up, I will have taken you to a couple of these sites and actually go in there and show you the kind of codes they have. It's incredible, it's amazing, and it has democratized the ability to own a software that people will pay money for and that is doing great work. Before, all right, oh, sorry, Prof needs details of the Zoom link. Where will I find that now? Odufunke, post me the Zoom link so that I can send it to Prof. I see that you guys even share the link to the room in all our groups on WhatsApp. That's not fair. Olufunke and Co, you need to share the Zoom link on all those places we normally will share stuff, please. Huh?
Oh, great, sir.
No wonder we don't have enough people here. Let's get them in here. Don't be a gate.
We shared the link, sir.
Okay. I don't like gate man. No, you don't look like a gate man. You look like a solid woman that will open the door for people to come and learn. I'm just messing with you. All right. I've shared it with Chris. That's fine. Okay. So if you want audio software, maybe transcribe text to audio or something that will create audio for you or clone your voice or clone whatever, the same thing, that same prompt I just gave you, give you the same prompt. This time, instead of video, you put audio related software. I'm in the business of creating software. My model is to go and look for open source software that I can customize to create my own software without stress. Now, give me 10 of the best audio, 10 of the best sites where I can find open source audio related software. Mr. ChatGPT will give it to you. John, this one I'm giving you, it gave it to me maybe an hour before I started this class. I didn't even have it before because it was not part of what I normally teach when I teach my how to create software. He gave it to me. AudacityTeam.org. Ardour.com. Ardour.com. That's R for Rangers, D for dog, OUR.org. Number 3, C-Sound. Some of these softwares are software that allow people to create their own beats, that allow musicians to create their own beats so that they can have a song, believe it or not. Imagine if you were to get one of those softwares and then you put it out there, imagine how many musicians will sign up to your site so that they can create their own music from your software. It can be a subscription. If you're in Nigeria, it can be sometimes because you want numbers. You might say only 5,000 naira a month. So they don't have to go to studio to go create beats. They can create it themselves. Before you know it, you can have 10,000 musicians in Nigeria on your platform, paying you 5,000 naira, 5,000 naira every month. Meanwhile, it's open source. There's no mystery here. And the fact that it's open source, like I keep saying, does not mean it's anyhow software. Imagine a software that hundreds, if not thousands of developers across the world worked on together to create. Those are what is called the open source software. They create it, and then anybody can download it and create their own model from it. WordPress is open source, by the way. Many of you did not know that. WordPress is an open source software. Can you imagine how robust WordPress is? But it's an open source software. That's why you can go to wordpress.org and download it and use it for free, because that is the deal. Open source is free. Now, that same code then, you can then use it to create your own software. Even though you are not calling it WordPress now, you are calling it whatever name you want to call it. And there are literally hundreds and thousands of them out there. I have subscribed to some of them. If I mention their names now, you'll be flabbergasted. Some of them are $97 a month. Some of them are $197 a month, but they are open source code for WordPress. What they did, they simply download that WordPress code, then rename the software their own, and then maybe they change the UI a little bit or added a few plugins to it. And now they have a multi-million-dollar business that they are running. There's several of them that are million-dollar businesses now. Again, when I mentioned name earlier, I think somebody inboxed me that that might be the branding some of the biggest brands out there. So I don't really want to do that. I can talk about my own because I don't want, because some of you, despite knowing that the software is not inferior simply because it's open source, but you tend to think less of it now that you know how it's done. I'm not one of those guys. It's value. Am I getting value from this stuff? Is this stuff solving my problem? So I won't mention specific names, but I assure you, there are many multi-million-dollar businesses out there that their software that they are using, that you are subscribing to, that you are paying $67 a month, $97 a month, they are open source. And you can get your own. Olawamo, if you like, don't be writing. Be waiting for me to be going to go copy, and you want me to be typing these prompts for you. I can't do that. It's going to take long. That's why I read it out. Okay? So if I were you, I would pay attention or watch the replay, or wait until the recorded version is out and then pay for it. Number 4, hydrogen. Hydrogen-music.org. You are on Zoom with me, Mr. Olawamo. What you can do, you can also screenshot. I don't have a problem. You can screenshot the room. Do some of this work yourself. All right? Hydrogen is hydrogen, HYDROGEN -music.org. LMMS.io. Number 5. Number 6, Muse Score. MUSESCORE.org. Right now, we are talking about music-based open source softwares that you can go depending on where your interest is in. My own is on productivity tools. That's why the first thing I went to create is a funnel builder, because that is an area I operate in. I know I need funnels myself. I don't need and I know that a lot of people in my own industry, they want funnels. So depending on the industry you are in, if you're into music, if you're into training, if you're into video, go get your own open source. Just tell ChatGPT to tell you, as if you're asking Google. It's just that this time ChatGPT is more detailed, gives you even some explanations about this. Okay. Number 8, Sonic P, or Sonic Pi, if you like, is Sonic, SONIC-PI.net. You know, I told you guys yesterday that when I start giving these websites, I'm not going to be slow. So now there you have. You want websites now? I'm giving you Sonic P. or Sonic Pi, sonicpi.net, SONIC-PI.net. Number 9, Tux Guitar. Tux Guitar is TUXGUITAR. Guitar as in guitar that you play. Tux Guitar, TUX as in X-ray. Guitar, GUITAR.com.AR. And finally, I like to give 10 all the time. JackAudio.org. JackAudio.org. That this set of 10 that I just gave is about audio related software that you can launch as your own and be a proud owner of your own software. Now it's going to take a little bit of work on like book that I taught on Tuesday, how to be a commercial book author. This is a little bit different. Now let me give you the real joker to do this well, because getting that code and then going to Fiverr or freelancer.com and paying somebody less than $100 to install it for you. The software will work and people will log in there and they'll be able to use it. But I don't advise you to go into business just that way. What you want to do, you want to look for somebody that is a little bit technical to be your partner. Give them a percentage of the company so that their own job is to maintain the software. Because when the software is working and then it crashes or you need to update it, the open source guys, they are always updating the software. So updating is not your problem. Then they send an email to you if you download it from them and give you instructions about how to update your own app. So you don't need developers doing coding to update your app for you, but you still need to update it. So if you're like me and you're not technical, you can run into problem when it's time to update your app. So the strategy I recommend, number 1, because a lot of technical boys, they don't even know this thing I'm telling you. They want to build software, they just go and start from scratch and tell you it's going to be ready in 4 months. After more 4 months, it is rubbish they will still give you, because there'll be so many, maybe not rubbish, they will give you software that still has to be debugged over the next few months. I don't care how intelligent your developer is. If he coded from scratch, there will be bugs. Even Microsoft, that is a multi-billion-dollar business, when they launch their new Windows, or even Apple, when they launch their new version, there is always bugs. So building from scratch is not the direction you want to go. And when you get this open source code that has been tested and that also has updates going on, you need somebody to help you with those updates. So your first option should be look for somebody that is it doesn't have to be top level web developer. Remember, it's not building the software. All it's going to be doing for you is help you do the updates. If you don't want to learn how to do the update yourself, which you can learn, all those open source places, they have a video training for you to update your copy of the open source you've got. So you can choose, I'm going to go watch the video, I'm going to learn how to do it. Then every week or every month that they do an update, you go and update your own software so that your software is not outdated. Now, if you don't want to do that, go look for somebody who is a reasonably okay web developer and tell them you want to partner with them to own the software. Remember, owning the software is not all that there is to it. There's the marketing side, which is the one that actually costs the most money for you to know how to launch it, for you to launch it for 6 figures, for 5 figures, for you to market it online, for people to subscribe to it and buy it. That is actually more work than doing the software now, in my own personal experience, in my own personal understanding. So you can partner with him and say, okay, you're going to give him 20% or 30% of the company. 20% is more than fair because he's not the one building the software. All he's doing is installing it and maintaining it for you. That would be my number 1 recommendation to you. And if you want to be very, very, very generous, you can then do like a 60-40. Typically, I don't recommend 50-50 in anything. It will only lead to gridlock and fight and all that. Somebody's got to be the boss. So go get the developer. If you say he doesn't want to do it, then let him go. There's plenty. Give him anywhere from, I would say 10% is too small. Give him anywhere from 20% to 40%. Because you will have gone to go look for the software you want. And then you take him to that site. I want us to use this as our software. you will be my partner. Your job is to maintain the software, meaning that you are going to be checking the primary site. When they do an update, then you update our own. If we need to put some new features, you will learn how to put new features on there. Their job will be to maintain the software, to put in new updates for you. But you own it, or you jointly own it. So that will be my number one recommendation. If you can't get that, yeah, then your second option, again, I'm talking about how I'm giving you this website, but I don't want to leave you hanging where you get confused when it comes to time to starting your business. A second option is that you can go to fiverr.com, or you can go to freelancer.com or upwork.com. There's plenty of them, but those three are more than enough. Go and look for a web developer there. Type web developer at the top of the screen. When it comes up, you have a chat with that developer. Tell him you have a software. It's an open source code that you need to install, and you might need to put one or two features there, because when you go on that site where you got it, it will tell you all the features. You are going to be able to test it yourself. You're going to be able to log in and actually use the software, right? So you might decide that you want to modify your own a little bit. You want to put one or two things. So when you get to Fiverr, you chat up this guy, this web developer, who has on his screen that maybe he's going to do web installation for you for $100. Then you chat him up. Then I have this software. I need you to help me set it up according to your gig. But I want to give you even a better deal. After you set it up, I want you to maintain it for me and be clear what you meant by maintenance. That is going to be updating from the primary site where you got this code from. Number two, every once in a while, when you want to add features, that will be part of his responsibility to add new features that may not be in the original. And you say for that, you are going to give him 20% of the company. You have to understand that these guys are not business people. That is why they can create a full software and put it on a place like a Code Canyon that I told you before. And they are selling it for $49 for you to get their code. And they think they're doing business in their own head. They are calculating how many code can I sell. Many people like me, I'm not going to lie, we've gone to Code Canyon. We have bought a software there, a software code there for less than $100, $99. And we have taken it to JVZoo, and we have done $60,000 in sales, $90,000 in sales. Some have done $300,000, $400,000 in sales, while the person who did the code himself has not even sold up to 100 units at $100 inside Code Canyon. They are not business people. They don't know how to market. That's a great idea I'm giving you guys, $1 million idea I'm giving you right now. So you approach that person and say, I want you to install this for me, but I want you to be my partner. And I'm going to give you 10% of the company to maintain it. 20%, don't even go more than 20% early. 20% is fine. Because remember, this guy is selling his services for $100. Your software is going to be $1 million software. Once you figure out how to launch it, if you buy Launchify 360, that's my training program that I will introduce as I close today, and you execute well, probably your first launch, you might do 20K, you might do 100, you might do 200. I myself did 375,000 in 5 days, my first launch. Now, I'm not saying you're going to do 375. I hustled my own well. But you might do 20K. You might even if you do only 10,000. That is more than what that guy will make if he sells 1,000 units of his stuff. So then he's going to own 20% of that. You tell him to be your partner, then sign a contract. His own job will be to maintain the software. Your own will be to market it and run the business as a CEO. He then becomes, quote and unquote, your CTO, Chief Technical Officer. And he owns a piece of the company, 20%, which is the ideal stuff. For that, himself and his team will have to handle all the technical needs of your software. Updates, if the thing crashed, if server went down, that becomes all that problem. You don't have to pay for that because your partner is handling that. That is my model. That's the model I've always used. Then I went away from the model and I started hiring developers, and that has become a disaster. And that's why I'm moving away from that. Believe it or not, I just fired all my developers 3 days ago. All of them. Why? Because work that is supposed to take 1 week will now take 2 months. because they're getting salary. They don't have a stake in Gist House, so they don't care. Oh, we're going to fix this bug. This thing is stuck. They will agree they're going to fix it. But 1 month pass is still not fixed. Why? Because they're still going to get their pay. So those same people, I'm not going to hire them as partners on contracts. Okay, you're going to maintain Gist House. Every month, I'm going to give you the stuff that need to be maintained. You do it, and you get paid after you do it. Nobody gets salary. That's a better model. So don't get into that, because me, when I started, I don't hire developers permanently. You get it when I work with some of the guys that are now multi-million-dollar software owners. Now that's how we started with them, and we did okay. Oh, we're going to launch this software together. You will build it. This was even before AI, before I even knew about all of this stuff I'm sharing. They will build the software because they're developers. Then I manage the business side. I will spend the money for marketing, the money for launch, which sometimes can go as much as $20,000, $30,000. That's me doing the business. I'm okay with that. So we launch the software, but you own 20% of it. You own only one I've done 50-50 is with Ethiopia. I think 2 or 3 of them. And I've never had a problem with Ethiopia. It's a perfect gentleman. With Mobimatic, we've never had a quarrel in 7 years of owning that software together, because he's just a great boy like that. But everybody's not like that. So you partner with them and then give them a percentage. That way you don't have to be technical yourself. That's option 2 that you can have. Option 3 is what I just described, that I'm going to go with Mobimatic, with a Gist House now, where you get that developer and then you put them on contract that, okay, you will install for this amount that you have advertised on this your account on Fiverr. And I encourage you, don't go be looking for independent people out there who are going to, their amount is too big. Go and look for guys who are advertising their services on freelancer.com, on Fiverr.com, or Upwork.com. These are guys that are used to getting paid for services that they deliver on this third option. So then you then put that person, so you hire him to install it for you. You pay him that amount that he advertised. You don't need to give him any shareholding. He has advertised that he can install your open source code for you for $100. Pay him the $100. Everything else that you need, then you now tell him you are going to have him on retainer. That when you have different problems with this software, you are going to bring it to him, then he will solve it for a fixed amount or whatever he charges there. In other words, you have 2 or 3 or 4 developers that you have on your Rolodex. So that those are the people that will be familiar with the software because they installed it for you. And every time something breaks down or you need to put new features, you go to those same guys. Now you don't have to pay them every week. You don't have to pay them every month. You only pay them when they have something to do on your software. If your software is working, you don't need to have developer working on it every day now, unless you want to put in a new feature. Like in the case of Gist House now, every quarter we're going to put in new features. I'll call them. Okay, we have these 7 features we want to put on Gist House. We negotiate the price. They go do it. When they finish, I pay them or pay them a down payment to start. So that way you don't have to get stuck up in what always trips all of us up. Thinking that, okay, especially if you are not a developer yourself. Developers is okay. They can have a team. They know how to monitor them. They know when they will know when they are working, when they're not working. I have no way of knowing because I can't read code. If they tell me something is going to take 3 weeks, how do I know? So when you put that together, unless you have an office, now you're a big boy, you have an office where they are working from that office, it's a dangerous thing to go be hiring developers that you're going to be paying per hour. They will kill you, literally. I've just experienced it for a couple of years. Mike Filsem, who taught me, went to Philippines and went to get developers, put them in one house and all of that stuff, and they practically almost ruined him. Stay within what you can manage because you are new. Oh, wow. Lekon in the house. Come on now. That is one of my big boys in the tech space. Lekon, good to see you. He gave me a great time in Atlanta just last week. Took me to this place called Little Lagos 2 times, and we had an amazing time there. Lekon, thank you for coming in. We are going to go into the Q&A in a minute, and then we're going to need you to help us out. What I'm doing today for recap, for those just joining us, is I'm breaking open the lid of how you can be a software business owner. Contrary to what you think, you don't need all these tech skills to own your own software. I own 11 of them, and I cannot even code my name, even if they call me, if they put a gun to my head. And the most difficult one I've ever done is the one I went the hard way. That's Gist House, where I went to start gathering developers and paying them every month. And they've been working for 2 years. I'm still not happy with their result. But the Mobimatic that I've made over $3 million on in the last 7 years, just one software, I don't have one developer that is on staff. I use open source code to create the software. And then I had myself and Ifyok, we had guys who maintain it when it needs to be maintained. So I'm teaching you different strategies now. I've showed you where you can get open source software that you can use. I've given you at least 30 of them that are already done by a group of people. I'm talking top level developers. Because when you hear a code is open source, it's not one person that worked on it, it's not two people. There are literally hundreds across the world. They did it as a project on GitHub or GitLab or whatever. I've given you all those sites. Now they made that source code available for free, because that's why those guys worked on it without getting paid. Now, many of them now have terms that allows you to download that software and create your own SaaS from it. In other words, you now rebrand it, give it a different name. You can add some features to it, you can remove some features, but you own the software now. Imagine owning a software that 1,000 developers have worked on, or 100 developers, or 20 developers have worked on for a year, 2 years, 3 years. Imagine how robust that software is. And the beauty of open source, this strategy I'm teaching you, the second strategy, is that that same team continues to maintain that software for you. And you're not paying them. It's an open source project. They continue to develop it, they continue to improve it, and then when they improve it, they send out email to everybody who are downloaded from their site that you can update your software. They don't even charge you. Some of them have a maintenance contract, like the one I did with Siberia. For instance, my Mobimatic mobile app building software, it was Siberian CMS source code. I can tell you straight, I don't hide stuff, I don't get, you can go there and get your own, you have your own Mobimatic tomorrow morning. There's nothing complicated there. $997. We bought the enterprise version. And that is what we downloaded and installed as Mobimatic. In fact, we made a major mistake that I don't want you guys to make that cost us, because we wanted to be unique, which is the most stupid thing myself and Ifyok could have done. See, when we got that open source code, because we really, it's like in our head, it's our first software, 2016, me and this young boy, Ifyok was, I don't know, 25 years old or whatever then. I'm supposed to be the daddy. But we said, okay, since this is open source code, in our own brain, we don't see ourselves as owning the software, as having done the work. Because all of a sudden we got a robust software that anybody can use to create their own mobile app. Can you imagine? Okay, Professor, I see you. I'll put you up in a minute. Okay, so what did we do, which you should not do? We then got some developers together. Ifyok himself is technical. Okay, Ifyok can build stuff. We now got about 5 or 6 other developers, his own guys who are partners. So I keep saying me and Ifyok. It's actually about 6 or 7 of us. My apologies, because Ifyok had partners in his own company. Ifyok is a 50-50% partner with me, but his own 50% is sharing with about 5 or 6 other guys that are in his own startup at the time. So we now said, let's not launch it like that. Let us edit it and let us put in several new features. That's the worst mistake we could make in our life. So we ended up spending maybe another $30,000 to put in new features, to basically rewrite parts of the code, because in our head, for some reason, we did not see ourselves as having a software that we can just go and use and keep making our money. Even though that software, the Siberian CMS, is already recognized as one of the best softwares out there for mobile app builders. So we spent another 30K. In that 30K thing, we developed the thing to now be really good. But in the process, they had to rewrite some of the code. Now, this is not what happened because we are rookies. And I'm telling you guys now, don't let your ego get the better of you. Open source code software is an excellent software as is. As a rookie just starting, don't even get intelligent. Intelligence is what almost killed us. Because what then happened is that when we launched, remember the open source code is getting developed, getting updated rather every day by Siberian CMS. It's an open source code. They have literally hundreds, if not thousands of developers who are continuing to work on that code. So every week, literally, they bring in an update. Now you bought the open source code from them, the enterprise version, so that you can start your own business. Now for your own app to be updated, you have to update from what they have done, right? These hundreds of developers, they've done an update. You are using that same software, right, to have your own business. For your software to be up to date, you now have to update their update. In our own case, and that's what ultimately destroyed that software, by the way, we had to pull it a couple of months ago now. I'm talking about a cash cow that we have made over 3 million from. We have to pull it so that we can rebuild it. Why? Because now for us to update Mobimatic, we have to get a developer who understands the Siberian CMS one to recode it, because we have changed the code. So it's not a simple update anymore. Typically, it will have been a simple, they send you the update, a developer goes online, less than 15 minutes later, your update is live. But because we have changed the code, we have added features, we have tried to redesign it so that it doesn't look like the original anymore. Now, we cannot do automatic updates because it's no longer the same code. So we have to record it with our own. And guess what? We found out that it's not as easy to do later. So our own update sometimes would then take 3 months, 6 months, and it will cost us a lot of money because we now have to get developers who would then do the coding all over again. It's crazy. And that's how Mobimatic started losing a currency, in the sense that it started becoming problematic because the updates were not working well, because some of the code gets affected by whatever else is going on in the internet, some virus or whatever. So you need to update it all the time. So our own update takes 3 months to update. At that point, users are frustrated. The thing is not working well, and it became a mess. Finally, I had to say, guys, no, we can't do this. We need to put this thing down, and we need to rebuild. In the process, we lost goodwill from some of our users who have clients now, because remember, you use that software to build mobile apps for your own clients. Now they can't update their apps anymore. It's alive on App Store, it's alive on Google Play Store, but updating it to current became a problem. So I'm giving you this dire warning. I went to all that story, making myself very vulnerable because I'm like that. I'm very, very transparent, even though I'm a hard business person. Okay? That's why I'm telling you my story. Other people will never tell you about their own business like I'm opening up to you. And what is the purpose? So that you don't fall into the same mistake. In Yoruba language, excuse me for those of us who don't speak this, or my American friends, I will translate. They said, somebody who fell into a ditch. Is a lesson for people coming behind him not to fall into the same ditch. You got to avoid it. So if you are using open source software, or you decide to use developer rights as your base to create your own software business, my advice, even though the developers will tell you otherwise, don't listen to them. Use the source code as you got it. Don't mess around. Tell them when you hire somebody on Fiverr or freelancer.com or upwork.com or any of those sites, let them know clearly you just want them to install it as original. The only thing you want them to change is the name and maybe the color, some of the UI. You don't want them to touch the code. Tell them, I don't care. Don't touch the code. Just install. Things that don't affect the source code, you can do. You can, if the UI, even if you're going to change the UI, I don't want it to affect the source code in a way where I cannot do automatic updates from the original creators of this source code. You got to put it in writing. So that way, when they install your source code software, you have your own name now. You can rock it. You can make your millions selling. At that point, it comes down to marketing, which is where I'm a specialist. It comes down to marketing, getting people to buy that software. And I'm going to encourage you, get the Launchify 360 training. It's an 18-hour training on how to launch, how to create and launch. The launch emphasis there is about 12 hours. You don't even have to watch the creating the software anymore, because I'm telling you that. But how to launch. So that way you can turn your software to money. You'll be making more money than the person who built the software. I swear to God, we've done it so many times. You go to a code carrier, for instance, you get a code there. The guy who created the software is selling it for $49. You buy the advanced version, $200, right? That man probably has sold 200 copies. Let's even say 1,000. He's selling it, the base price, maybe at $49. That's 49,000 is made. You take that software, you go learn how to launch it. And in 5 days, you can do 100,000. I've done it severally, serially, not one time, not 2 times, not 3 times. Now, that's not to say I've never had a botch launch. I've had launch where I did less than 20,000. Okay, that's okay. You're going to have a failed launch once in a while. But once you learn how to do launching, you're good. But backstop yourself. Use the strategy I just told you. I'll repeat it because it's very important. I don't want to get you in trouble where you go and get an open source code from all these sites I'm giving you, and then you can't deal with it. Number 1 strategy, partner with somebody who has a little bit of developer knowledge to be your partner. Offer them percentage, 20%, maybe 30. If it's really good and a bit knowledgeable and insisted, you might even go as far as 40%, but that's too high. I'll tell you why. He's not the one building the software. The software is already built. All he's doing is installing it and maintaining it. He's not entitled to more than 20%. Let him know that. He can go build his own for free and own everything 100%, right? But the point is, building the software is not the problem. Anybody can do that. You can get it done for you for $10, $20 on Fiverr. They will install it. It is how to sell it. And that is one where you want to be. You want to be the marketer. You want to learn how to do the business of the software. And then just make sure you have this developer on the side in case your system crashed, in case they need to do updates. That's option 1. Option 2 is to put a freelancer on retainer on those freelancing sites, guru.com, upwork.com, freelancer.com. You go in there, get a developer that has those set of experience that is related to your own software. Hire him to install it for you and activate it. It cannot be more than $100. I've done it over and over, but at worst, $299 to install your source code, do a work on the payment side, blah, blah, all you need to do to start selling it. Can't cost you $300. I've not done any that cost me more than that. Okay? Then that same person becomes your go-to guy. You talk to him that now that you have helped me install, I will need you to be maintaining it for me maybe once a month, once a quarter. I will come to you with what I need to be maintained. And then I will pay you per your fees on this place. Most will agree. That's what they do now. That's why they're on freelancer.com. They are selling their services. So now you have a developer that you can call if there's a problem. So if the thing crashes, you quickly go to freelancer.com, contact the guy and say, that software you loaded has crashed. I need you to work on it. 24 hours, he will solve it for you. Just don't go into it alone if you have no tech experience. And please do not hire developers. If I made any mistake in the last 2 years, that is my number 1 mistake. And I knew better. Unless you're a developer yourself, or you have now got funded. Take GStars now. Let's say I were to do GStars the way I should have done it, which is basically either partner with a tech guy who has a team who will be maintaining it, and they own a big chunk of the company. 20%, even 30% for that type of software I probably would have done because I felt it was such a big deal 2 years ago. Now I know it's not a fucking big deal. I could have done it anywhere I do. If I want a software like G-Stars right now, I can get it in a week and I won't have to even give anybody any shares. It will cost me less than $1,000. But if you go and hire a developer and a G-Star type of software is even too high because it's even a free software. Monetizing it, you need somebody to invest, you need all of that long thing. Don't do free software. Do the one that they pay you to use from day one so that you can make money. Now, if you then get funded, let's say your project is really good and somebody is willing to then invest in it. Remember, you own the open source code now. Now, if a developer comes, they can then come up with other features that you can put, how you can work on the code to now make it unique. But they will have given you money to hire full-time developers to work on it. So your life is not over because you own a software. Just pay attention to me. I know I'm talking over and over again for the last 30 minutes to 1 hour. Because that is the point of failure. It's why I'm stressing it. You may have some money to even hire developers, and I'm saying that's not the way to go initially until you start seeing money here. You can have your software up and running in less than 7 days that is making you money without having that overhead of big time developers. Just get an installer who will install exactly the way it works on the original site. The only thing is that they have a new name and they have a new color and they have a little bit of a change on your UI. You will still sell it because the world does not know or care whether it was open source. It's in your head. It was in my head too when I started. But now I know better. Most of the tools people are sharing with you on Clubhouse, on Facebook, wherever as a new AI tools, many of them are open source from somewhere or created with API of openai.com. They didn't build the code, at least the owners, but they're still making their money. I just mentioned our play.ht, for instance. I paid $480 for the annual subscription for play.ht, only for me to run into that same code on one of these open source sites. Meaning that if I want to own my own play.ht right now, I can call it whatever name I want to call it. And in 3 days, I have my own. And it will work exactly like play.ht. And it is not plagiarized, it's open source. The owners say you can do that. It's almost like PLR. Just make sure you read their terms. Sometimes if you are creating your own business with it, they actually make you pay some money. That's a charge they give you. Pay them their charge. Yeah, the developer you hire, you tell it, some of them, you hire the developer. You don't even know how to even read this open source thing. You go to the site, you have seen the sites, and I've given it to you. More than 30 sites have been given today. You give them, I want you to go here. Let's say you want to do an audio related software. I have 10 that I've already quoted here: ado.org, csound.com, hydrogenmusic.org, llms.io, musescore.org, puredata.info, and so on and so on, jackaudio.org. You tell the man, I want you to go to jackaudio.org. I want you to get this open source code there and install it for me under this name as a product. Because you have gone there, you know how much it costs. If there's any cost, some of them is zero cost. Like the one for, what is it called? The one, let me go to the video one, which is the one that blew me away when I saw that several years ago. The one about open broadcast. What is it called now? Okay, I don't want to go back on my slides. Anyway, so it will install it for you and you are ready to go. Now you want to learn the marketing. And I don't tell you guys what I have not done. Funnelmatic just got, if you go to funnelmatic.net right now, you will see my software there that what is it called? That is an AI-powered funnel builder. I didn't even use open source. I use white label, which is the third one we are going to. Let me go to that. We have just finished strategy number 2. Let me leave that, then go to strategy number 3, white label software. If you want to be a software publisher or marketer or seller, a third strategy, if you are doing the guerrilla style, is to use white label. They're everywhere. It's all about your mental state. To own a software, you don't need to go gather developers everywhere unless you want to be like Google. And those are big boys play, right? Where you're developing, you know that, okay, you want to be a billion, trillion software in future. But for now, that 6-figure thing, 1,200,000, 300,000 type of business, all of that is long term. When you get into the business and then you now have this original idea that you want to start from scratch and then you want to then build, then you can do that. Tylenol is an open source formula, for instance. Tylenol, that is it not a multi-million-dollar business, if not billion? Tylenol, what is that thing that my wife likes to use? Acetaminophen, all those painkillers, most of them, they are all from the same formula that is acetaminophen. Believe it or not. Those who created that drug formula, after a certain number of years, it goes into what is called open source, meaning people can then get access to that code or to the formula and then create their own brand around it. So it comes down to the marketing. So when you look at Tylenol and you look at Advil and you look at all those pain stuff in the US, I don't know about Nigeria, read their label, it's even there. Of the formula is exactly the same. The only thing different is the branding. And then maybe they introduce a little elements here and there, but the source formula is acetaminophen. Most don't know that, most don't care. They still build their multi-billion-dollar businesses. Same thing with software. Mozilla Firefox is open source. So don't let anybody tell you there's any drama. There's no drama. It is maintenance. All right, we go to number 3 now. White label. We have left open source now. I told you open source is the most robust and my own preferred. But sometimes open source may either be a little bit complicated for you to install, for you to get, then go for white label. You want to sell. You are here to make money. You are not here for the ego. The fact that you didn't create it does not give it less value. It's like books. Now, people use ChatGPT to write books, and for some reason, I don't know why they would think their book doesn't have as much value as a book that somebody spent 2 years to write. If anything, your book is better because your book is better researched by software that, according to Professor Mafidon, AI is a software that has read all the books in the world, that has done all the research in the world, that has all the data in the world. That is what is your assistant to write your own book. That's what did your research. That's what helped you to write it. And somehow in your brain, you're thinking it's not as good as a book that is full of grammatical error by some guy who spent 6 months to write a 100-page book. No, it is better. And once you have that mentality, then you're not going to be worried whether your book was written by whatever. Is your book valuable? Does it give content? Same way with the software. Now, white label, so that I don't digress too much. It's a software developed by a company, because some of you might be saying, what's a white label? But it's distributed to other businesses that customize its appearance. Not the core implementation. The core code is there. They customize its appearance and then they market it under their own brand as their own software. All the code, all the maintenance is done in the backend by the owner of the software. You are just using white label, just like Advil and Tylenol and all of that stuff. Most of them. Okay? White label is what I call the fastest route for the rookie who wants to own a software business. Because at that point, all you want to go learn is how to launch it. I say it without embarrassment or without even feeling anything. Funnelmatic.net is a white label software. That's all I need. The question when I launch it next month will be, does it work? Does it create your labels for you? Does it create your sales page? Does it create your opt-in page? Does it have AI embedded in it or not? That's the only thing that matters. Who created it is irrelevant. So that gets me into the market faster, even though I have developers that are developing a couple for me from scratch. I have one that is OpenAI that somebody's working on, but a white label gets you into the market immediately with a great product. So how do you get your own? They're everywhere. Many JVZoo launches, they will even give you white label. If you know a place called jvzoo.com, when you look at their funnel, most times at the end of it, the last item will be white label. That is, they allow you to sell this under your own brand name. And if you know how to market, you will make your 100K, you will make your 200K, you may even make your own $1 million, even more than the person that owns the software. Because most times, those who created the software, they are not marketers. They don't know nothing about marketing. They don't know about the 5-page funnel to launch a software. When you explain that, they're like, what are you talking about? They have no clue. They don't know about squeeze page. They don't know about upsell 1, upsell 2, how to put all of that together to make money, which is what is really going to generate the money for you. All right. So I have to just move forward. I can give you plenty website, but again, we are using ChatGPT to learn this stuff. I've showed you how to use ChatGPT to get developer rights softwares and where to get it. We have used it to find some of the most amazing websites for open source software on different types of software you want to create, whether you want to create an AI software, and I just showed you that many of the ones that all of us have been paying for, they are open source. It doesn't mean they don't have value. The ones I paid for, I'm not canceling them because I don't want to go build like the play.ht. I don't want to go build a software like that. I don't have time. I have my own that I want to manage. So my subscription is still there. I paid it. The script is a good software, but it is made of open source. Doesn't that mean that because I know it's open source, I won't pay my subscription again? Then that means I want to go and build my own, or I want to go to that source site and then get somebody to download and then use it from there. You can do that. So don't worry about whether your software is white label or not. The question is, can you market it? Does it provide services? All right, I'm not going to go and give you that prompt again. In this case, instead of using open source software, just change that to white label in your prompt to ChatGPT. I'm a software marketer, and my model is to look for white label software that I can then rebrand and sell under my own brand and company name. Now I want you to list 10 of the best websites where I can get white label software in this area. You can even tell it in for white label software for videos, white label software for audio related products, white label software for mobile app related products. That's how you prompt your ChatGPT. Nothing complicated. Don't let anybody tell you, I've tested this thing. This last 2 months, that's all I've been doing. ChatGPT will tell you. That's it. You get your white label, and you're ready. It's exactly what I did to get my own white label that I'm using right now. Exactly what I just told you. That I'm a software publisher and marketer. My model is to look for white label softwares that I can market and sell under my own brand name and company name, where the software is maintained by the original owners. And I told you the area I wanted a funnel builder. That has been my number one. I owned one before. Funnel 360 is my software. But again, it got outmoded. It got outdated. So we have to pull it. So now I want one that is AI powered. And I put that as part of and I said in listing the 10 different websites, make sure these are websites that have AI-centric mobile builders. In other words, where you can use AI as part of the features in that software. And I hit enter. It gave me the 10. Based on the 10, I started going to those sites until I saw the one that I like. I like the way they structure their team. I double checked to see that it's very new. They have a very big team of people who are maintaining it, and their price is reasonable for me. Yes, some of them will have a monthly for, especially those white label ones. You have to pay. It's open source that is mostly free. But those white label, they'll charge you, maybe it's going to be like $300 a month, maybe $100 a month. You have to do your own math. So if it is a $300 a month, you know that all you need to do is sell up to $300 worth every month to pay your rent. I call it rent in my own head. right? It is not your software. They are maintaining it. They have developers who is working on it. When there is a need to update it, they are going to give it to you for free because it's part of what label is. When they update, they will give you the Ezinwa says, I'm a software developer. I'm about to call out for that. For those who are web software developers who want to partner with me in bringing out some of these software, I'm not going to pay you salary. I don't need those type of people. I want guys who are going to partner and we're going to go out there and get some open source software and just crush this damn thing. I will handle the marketing. I'll handle the launch. I will pay for the launch. What is costly is actually the launch because you have to get all the 5 launch pages ready. You have to, all of them have videos in them. All of them need sales copy, all of that stuff, most of which can even be done by AI now. But the business side of it, the launching of it and all of that is the real thing. It's like a book. Anybody can write a book now in 1 hour under ChatGPT, but how many people can make money with it? That's going to be the difference as we start to go into this thing. So I'm personally looking for people who are developers, who have reasonable skills in development, who will be my junior partners in my software project. Probably I'll give them like 20% of that. Of course, I'm going to test them. I don't have to give you more than that. If that's generous, I can go to Fiverr and do it for $200. And every month I pay another $200 for them to maintain it for me, and I'll be good. So it's not about being me. It's just the way it is. Or you can go do it yourself. When you build your own software, then when you see how much it's going to cost you to launch it, that is when it becomes a problem. But you can own a software. Okay. So let's move on. Of course, the final strategy, PLR, I'm not even going to go into that now, but to me, that is the absolutely small boy level. Private label rights, where somebody's created the software, but is selling it to you outright for you to private label it. In other words, you can then change the name, just like a book. Change the name, change the whatever, and now you are the original owner of that product. That's different from white label. White label, most times, the owner of the person who created the product is the one that is going to be managing the back end. So you don't have to sweat. It's the one that's going to be managing the updates. It's the one that's going to be managing if the thing crashes. That's their business, not your own. It's different from private label. Private label rights, once they sell it to you, it's a one-time price. Some of them are even free. Now you own the software. It's like now they've given you a wife. It's not your wife. If your wife is sick, you are paying. It's not something you borrowed. It's not a shower. It's not your wife. You own it. That, to me, I don't recommend for a new person. Because when you get that private label right, yeah, you're going to own it. You're going to call it your name. What if it crashed tomorrow? What if somebody bought it and says it's not working? What are you going to do? You are not a developer. Now you're going to be running up and down. That's not good. One of my students, an Igbo guy, I love my Igbo brothers. The way they have read the tick, they are not playing. He said, I will do the private label. Now, my software, somebody come and complain, say it didn't work. I will give them their money back. Should be there is 30-day money back guarantee. I don't need to go hire a developer. I'm like, you cannot run a business like that. How many people will you refund? And they are going to have reputational damage, because when your stuff don't work, and then you say, okay, no verse, collect your money back. They will tell each other, and then that will be the end of your career. Okay. Somebody's asking, can you hear me on Gist House? I know there's about 50 of you on there. Can you guys hear me? Somebody is saying I can't hear. I'm just talking, I don't know. Give me a yes if you can still hear me. Otherwise, I may have to log out and log back in. Can you guys hear me on Gist House? I know Clubhouse is hearing me. They are typing. Guys, I just need you to type something if you are still hearing me. Sorry, I'm just waiting for Gist House guys to respond. I'm seeing so many of them in there. Okay. Okay, they said they can hear me. Okay, fine. Because sometimes it's what we're just discussing. The thing just goes like that. Anyway, all right. Strategy number 4 is private label rights. I'm not going to dwell so much in it because I don't want to encourage you as a starter to use. Please mute yourself. Somebody's open and is creating that's on Gist House. Okay. I don't want you to use the private label right option because now you're going to have responsibility for what you cannot manage. Unless you want to start hiring web developers, and I've told you, they will kill you. They're on salary. They will murder you. You are not Google. You are not Facebook. They have endless money to pay them. But once the developer knows that it's going to get paid, whether it delivers anything or not, something that's supposed to take them 1 week will take them 6 weeks, it will take them 3 months. I've just experienced it in Gist House for 2 years, costing me almost 20K a month. I fired every one of them yesterday. I'm done. Now we can talk, and then we can talk about them working on fixed projects, so that when I give you these 4 things to do, until you do it, you don't get paid. So that way there is no fight. It might be a little bit more expensive, but I'd rather do that until I get funding, because Gist House is killing me. I was ready to close it. That's how serious I was. I know this makes no sense. It's a free app. Why must I spend this much every month when we only have 30-something thousand on the app? No, I'm not doing it. So you don't want to get into that mess. Partner or use freelancing sites just for maintenance. Stay away from private label rights. Stay with open source or white label. White label is even better if you are just starting. That one now complete. You don't even have to be taking all this story about installation. The person selling the white label will give you the installation. They will install it for you. Make sure it's part of the deal. And you don't have to pay so much. Worst case, maybe they will even tell you $500 a month. It's nothing. Because if your software, depending on what it does, if you are charging $297 a month or $197 a month, or even $97, or even $50 for use, if your fee to your white label owner is even $500 a month, you only need to sell 10 at $50 to break even. Are you seeing now? But you don't have overhead costs for maintenance. That to me is the first. Now, as you get into the business and you start figuring it out, you can then decide you don't want to be paying somebody every month for your white label version. You want to go create your own, or you want to go create open source, and that's okay. At that point, you know what you are doing, because now you have to engage developers. Right now, you don't know what a developer is. If a developer told you this thing will take 3 months to do, you have no way of evaluating it. And they will kill you. That's what they do. They will literally murder you unless they are partners in the project. And that's different. And their own job is to do the tech part. So if they like, let them be messing themselves. Nobody's paying them. All of us are in this together. But white label, they install it for you, and then you just then go do the marketing. Right? For those of you watching on Zoom, I've listed some places where you can get private label software, but I'm going to speed up fast. I don't really want you using that option, because you will still come and cry to me later. The last option I want to talk about is master reseller. That one is even, like I said, small boy level, where the person who owns the software gives you the right to resell it and keep 100% of the money. That is called reseller rights. Now, that is also good for a rookie, in the sense that you don't have to have developer. You don't know anything about whether how the app is working or not working, or whether anything break down or whatever. Your own is just to sell. And so that way you are just selling. You are not taking any operational risk for the app itself. They are also there. If that's where you want to go, ask ChatGPT, where can I get access to master reseller softwares in this area? If you prompt your ChatGPT that way, you can even ask for 100. It will give you 100 different websites. Your own job is to then go there, look at the softwares, look at the one that you would like to resell. But to me, it's not as good as white label, because if you are doing reseller, you can't sell it under your own brand. So you are not building equity in that thing you are selling, which is very stupid. Because if you are using white label and you are selling it under your own brand name, that brand equity can become $1 million, even $1 billion one. Yeah, because people will invest in it. Because when you start making money, you can then use your own money to build your own original one. When you now want to start getting investors to come in, because investors want to know what is the future of this stuff. But you can start out, because it's your brand. They will know. Take my Funnelmatic, funnelmatic.net. That is my funnel building website that will belong. We're trying to create the sales page and all of that now. But the site is ready, it's working. We're already building funnels on it. My summit that I'm going to be doing in less than a month, the sales page from there is going to be built on Funnelmatic. So it's Funnelmatic people we know as a software, right? So if 1 year from now, my own developers that are building, they're building one for me, that's a web builder, but they're doing it from scratch. It's an AI software. They're building it from scratch because I want it to be something I can then get investors to put mega money down the road. Now, when that one is ready, all I need to do is switch to my own. Now, the users don't need to know. We're just going to say we are doing a massive update. That's all they need to know now. We are doing a massive update of our software. Then you grandfather those who have bought your white label under that the one that somebody else owned. You grandfather them into your own new original owned by you asset. And then you can stop paying subscription to the white label guy. But for the users, it is still Funnelmatic. It's just, they'll just be telling you Funnelmatic is not very different now. The interface is different. They've done a great job. They'll be praising you. But all you have done is just switched from white label to your own proprietary software that is developed. It is what it is. Clubhouse, when they started, they were using Agora for their audio. Agora, which is 70% of the software. I know because I own one, right? Remember, I own Gist House. I know exactly the technology that is here. It's Agora, the same one we were using. Agora.io is the one supplying all the audio. It's an audio app, meaning that's 70% of the app right there. But now they're building their own proprietary audio service because Agora is very expensive. But when they switch, I don't even know if they already switched. I'm talking about over a year ago when I know they are trying to build their own audio business. If they have switched it by now, nobody knows now. I'm sure they probably have. It's still the same Clubhouse. It's still the same app. And that's the way you also want to think about it. Don't be thinking all this, I have to go into the lab. The equivalent, before I stop this, is by using any of these 5 strategies I've taught you. You are basically making your pounded yam using poundo machine, as opposed to going to go boil yam, put it into a mortar, and start pounding with all your power. That is building software from scratch. Pounded yam approach, village style. Versus you press a button, somebody already turned the yam into flour. Somebody already gave you a machine. All you simply do is pour that flour into water, stir it for a few minutes. Your pounded yam is ready and you're ready to go. If you open a restaurant and you are selling your pounded yam, I don't think those who come there to eat cares whether you went to pound it in the village or whether you use flour to create it. That's the way I want you to think. Your flour, your pounded yam, see have cost. You see have favor. That Lagos, little Lagos that Lekon took me to, I'm 100% sure is yam flour they were using to create the pounded yam that we ate. He ate pounded yam. Me, I love to eat rice, but he always eats man Jebu or Ekiti man. He will ask them for Ezekiel. Let me harass Lekon a little. He will always ask them for his own pounded yam or his amala. But they did it with flour, and he paid them. Nobody is quarreling that GC is not made with cooked yam in one village. Same way with your software. I've seen people sell softwares on this app. I subscribed, by the way. Yep, it was $480 for 3 months or something, dollars, 680 or something. And I paid because I wanted to see how it works, and I used it, and it works very well. Leko is eating his pounded yam already. You are tempting me to come back to Atlanta so that we can go back to that place. I love it so much. My point, gentlemen, is all about mindset. Now, I'm almost done with my training. I'm just working on your mind now. Because if you are not right in the mind, you will be having an imposter syndrome. You'll be thinking that, oh no, I didn't create this software. You're not a software owner. Wow, you're not a software owner. It's your software. You created it. Just like if you write a book. I don't care what anybody says. Even if it's one-click book creation you did, good luck to you. It's your book. If it has value, it has value. You sell it with full chest. People will pay you. Did they not pay me for my ChatGPT Business Gold Mines? And they're going to pay me plenty for all the rest I've written when I start rolling it out. Why? Because it gives value. Okay. I think I've overdone myself today in detailing. Now, the bottom line, let me now go to, before we go to Q&A, let me now do Oja Market, okay? Because after spending 3 hours doing this stuff, the bottom line, and I'm not saying this because I have something I'm going to be offering for you to buy in a minute. Getting your software is the smallest of your problems. But the question then is, how do I make money with it? How do I launch it? You have been hearing rumors. I've been saying it looks like rumor to you. There are young boys, 23 years old, 24 years old, 25 years old, who are launching softwares every day in places like ClickBank, jvzoo.com, warriorplus.com, and in 5 days, they laugh all the way to the bank with $100,000, $200,000. Now, not all of them make that money. I'm not trying to give you a false impression. But they are launching these softwares that some of them they created in less than a week, even before AI. And they take it there, they do some things, and then after 5 days, they are down for 100K, 50K. I myself, I've done 11 of them. I've had maybe out of those 11, I would say 2 or 3. Let me even call it 3, because Voicematic only did about $22,000. And that is considered a flop for someone like me. And I'm not necessarily a big expert. I told you I just started in 2016. And I wasn't even as serious as some guys. I'm busy doing Peter Obi, busy doing coaching in the process. There's some that's all they do. There's a gentleman, I will give you 3 names. Let me drop some so that you can go check this stuff. Ifeok came was my boy. He's the one that owned, what's the name of this one that is making marketing blocks? When they launched marketing blocks, $800,000. It's an AI software. Ifeok on a bad year will do $2 million in sales of his softwares. I don't know how many he has now. Shehu Ogundele is another name that I'm dropping for you. When you go to them, ask them. They were my proteges. I taught them how to market their software. Shehu Ogundele especially knows how to build software before. It was not my student on how to build software. I remember him very well. He came to a webinar, my Launchify 360 webinar. After I finished presenting, I'm going to short into like 20, 30 minutes for you guys in a minute. And then I was selling it for $2,997. I'm still selling it that, but you won't pay anything close to that today. I'm just marketing it in advance for you. Shehu Ogundele will tell you, when he came in there, he said, this is what I've been looking for. All he ever bought from me, even though I call him my protege. Truth be told, I did not teach Shehu Ogundele anything other than giving him Launchify 360, the product launch formula. And he told me, and he will tell you the same thing when you go to him, that all he did was follow it step by step. His first launch, $100 and something thousand. And the guy launches practically every month for 3-4 years now. Every month, he brings a new software to the market. Again, it's on Facebook, very easy to find it. His name is Shehu Ogundele. Ask him, say, Dr. Quest said this. He will tell you. What am I talking about? Launching your software or getting your software to make money is an art form. It's a series of steps. I'm going to go over them quickly. Then I'm going to tell you how you can get access to it today if you want. I've already given you 3 hours. Oh, somebody said they lost my audio. Oh, sorry. I muted myself. I didn't know. Thank you so much, Lekon. My apologies. I don't even know when I lost you guys. Well, let me just re-summarize. It's one thing for you to have your own software. It's another thing for you to be able to launch it for profits. And I have done this over and over and over, and I've taught people how to do it. I don't claim expert where I'm not an expert, but on product launch, I'll put my skills against anybody, any day, when I really want to launch. See, when I said yesterday, I said this AI thing, I'm not an expert, I'm still learning from the Lakons of this world. But how to launch a software for profits massively is my thing. And all the place I use, you see young boys, 20, 25 years old, 30 years old, 23 years old, who are launching their softwares on a place called jvzoo.com, warriorplus.com, clickbank.com, and other sites like that. Some of those softwares take them less than 7 days to do. Maybe 1 month. With AI now, You plan all these skills I just taught you. You can have your software ready in less than 7 days, in less than 48 hours even. But can you turn it to money? That's my specialty. So I dropped some names. I don't know. That was when I was meted. I had said, go check out a guy called Ifyokin Kim. On a bad year, he probably would do $2 million in sales of his softwares in product launches. Sheon Gundele is another guy. He launches literally every month. And on the average, he probably would do between 50 and 100,000. Some runaway success like 300K, 400K. But on the average, he does 50 to 100K. Sheon Gundele is a young boy. Maybe if he's 30, maybe 31. And he's been doing this now for 6 years, maybe. I remember when he bought my Launchify 360, the very first edition. He said that's all he needed. I never trained Sheon in anything else, even though I call him my protege. All I did was give him the Launchify 360 training, which he paid for. $1,997 is what he paid. You can ask him when you see him. He said that is the best sales, the best product launch training he's ever got is 18 hours of detailed step-by-step of what to do. Now, let me quickly take you through it. All right, the Launchify 360 formula, which is my signature product, is taking the mystery out of software production and product launch. A few hours of it, I think about 4 or 5 hours of the initial part of the training, focuses on how to create your own software. Basically, this thing that I just summarized in the last 2 hours, that's what that part is. Then I went into the 11 steps. It's 11 steps that anybody can take, and I'm going to break it down in a second, that I took to create my first product launch on JVZoo and did exactly. It's $365,508 in 5 days and $430,000 in 30 days in November 2016. And I've been replicating that since then to today. I've taught it to literally dozens, if not hundreds, of people who have gone on to do mega 6-figure launches, despite the fact that I had never created or launched a product online before then. I'd never. So, meaning that you can do the same thing. I was burning money in search of, like everybody, I wanted to make an extra income. I'm a lawyer, yes. I have several businesses, yes. But when I decided to go into digital business and I picked software service, I wanted to create a massive income stream that would even be better than my law practice. I had no confidence that I could do it. It took me months to actually come up with a real product launch plan because it was all a mystery. So I got it done. I'm going to fast forward this thing. So after I got tired of daydreaming, like many of you, about being a top product launcher in the US, I was a local champ in Nigeria. That's true. A lot of people know me, but I've never launched a good product internationally before then. So I got tired of selling other people's product as an affiliate, like many of you are doing right now. I got tired of low confidence because I keep, when it comes to product launch, I see all these 22-year-olds, 23-year-old guys, and I start getting complex. They are launching it, but I don't know what they are doing. The first time one guy told me he did $120,000 last week launching his software, I said it was a scammer because I was 23 years old. I'm like, is it possible? Me, I know how much I make and I know all the work I do until I figured it out after I got involved. Okay, so I got tired of having no reliable system to launch my software, because if you get a reliable system to launch your software, then launching a software every two months will not be out of reach for you. I just showed you how to get the software right now. If you want 10 software yourself in the next 1 week, you use those strategies I taught over the last 2 or 3 hours, you will have it. But are you going to make money with it? Do you know how to make money? That was me. I got tired of burning money in my search for a launching process. I knew that there was a process. I saw Mike Fisem do it. I saw Omar Martin do it. I saw all these big boys doing it. But you know what they were doing? I had to go underground, like I said, to learn from the masters. I started going on cruises with them. I had money, right? Before I got into digital business. I'm a lawyer. I got a 20-person law firm now. No matter how poor you are as a lawyer in America, if you have a big office, you will make money. So money wasn't the issue. But what do? I signed up to learn from them. I signed up for their coaching classes. I went to conferences and cruises. with my wife. We go there. It's a marketer schools they do every year, January. I started going so that I can talk to these guys, because what they say in public is different from what they actually do. Or they don't have time to sit you down and give you every step. So but by drinking with them, eating with them, I'm finally figuring it out. I studied over 50 launches over a 2-year period myself. I'm like that, just the same way I was very, very mercenary on Clubhouse. I want to know what this AI thing is. I said 8 hours a day, I'm going to be there. I will listen to the experts. I want to hear what they're saying. I will make notes. Everything they tell me, when I'm done on Clubhouse, I go to the internet and I check it out. After 2 months, I felt very confident that I know as much as I'm going to need to know to make money with this thing and teach people too. That's how I do my own stuff. Some of them don't like me now because though I tell them I'm going to do this beginning June. I don't know whether I thought I was joking. And I'm going to come to your rooms. I'm going to contribute. But April and May, that's all I'm going to do. Come June, I'm going to start opening my own rooms. I'm going to go into business, making money with this shit. Some probably had me and they thought I'm just one of those guys that just talk and don't do. But now that I'm doing it, I hear that some are upset at me. I don't care. This is an open society. I want to teach as many people as possible. Those who don't like that, I don't know what else I can do. All right. I studied over 50 launches over a 2-year period. When I see that a launch has done $200,000, I want to go figure out what are they doing. I go to join them on Skype. I talk to the owner. I check what they are doing and I make my notes. All right. So at the end of my journey, this is what I discovered. I discovered the real secrets of the gurus, including how they create and launch products. This creation of product I just told you, I learned that from watching them, talking to. I didn't know that before. I didn't know you can get a very robust software like a Mobimatic for next to nothing, and that you can launch it and make your money. It's from studying them. I documented a complete blueprint and easy to follow checklist system before I launched my first one. How to launch a software. I applied those steps to get my own product ready, because that's the way you get ready for your launch. And then I got all my ducks in a row for a successful launch, and I simply made it happen despite not having any technical skills. Here is the screenshot for those of you who can see my screenshot on Zoom. I don't talk, I don't lie. My first product did $365,639.53 in 7 days. I just exhibited the, as you can see, 11:09 to 11:15 in 7 days. That is a screenshot direct from jvzoo.com. I'm a lawyer, I can't fake screenshot. I lose my license over that. If you screenshot this and then go and tell the Bar Association in New York that I lied, I can lose. I will never do stuff like that. I know people do it. If you go to jvzoo.com now, it's a public site. I don't own it. I don't have shares there. If you search my name, you search a product called Mobimatic, and you narrow down the dates, you will see exactly what we did. We sold 1,718 copies in that 5-day period at an average sale price of $212, because we gave this guy was $297 for you to get the 1-year subscription. And then during the launch, you do all this stuff, you give an advanced discount, blah, blah, blah. But it came down to an average of $212 per copy. That is the screenshot right there. Give me a 10 if you think that this is like a boss. Give me a 10 now. Don't envy me. This is authentic screenshot, not all those ones they give you. That makes no sense. All those guys that have not done anything that will tell you they've done this, they've done that. I'm giving you verifiable proof right now. Receipts. I told you when I start, it's gonna be hard. All right. And you can do the same. Some of the guys I've taught, they do better than this routinely. So this doesn't make me a star, even though I'm shining right now. When you get to JVZoo, there are guys who do $1 million. A guy called Todd Gross. Every time he launches, he's looking at 500,000, 600,000. That's another guy in Canada. What's his name now? Paul Poda. I'm giving you names that you can verify. Paul Poda, 200,000 is a bad launch for him. That's to tell you how crazy this stuff is. And they use the same strategies I'm going to teach you right now, because I learned it from them and I've used it. So don't think I'm one of those. I'm not even right now. I'm not even in the top 10 in JVZoo. I used to be in top 5 at one point, but I've not launched anything in 2 years. I've been busy doing my own thing, doing all this other stuff that has nothing to do with software. So I think I've dropped down to maybe top 10 or top 15. But these are guys that are in the top 1%. Ifyok is in the top 1% now. Somebody said, not Tom, Todd Gross, Todd, Gross, Gross. In case you guys want to go and be checking these receipts. There's a Nigerian guy called Victory Akpomeda. He has had multiple 200,000 plus launches. I can't count that many. Maybe 20, maybe. In the last 7 years that I've been involved. I don't know how many was doing. That's also my protege. You can ask him. His name is Victory Akpomeda. They are on and on and on like that. Misan is in the top 1%. It's in Nigeria. It's in the top 1% at jvizu.com. He kills it every month. On a bad year, maybe 2-3 million too. I'm not playing. Okay? So the reason why I'm giving you this receipt is that people lie. People take stuff, especially on this thing called Clubhouse. I don't do that stuff. The one I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. The one I'm master. I dare anybody to come and challenge me. All right. So I tested my Launchify 360 theory with my very first launch called Mobimatic. Okay. That is the case study that I broke down. I pieced it, every little thing I did to do that $430,000 my very first month in the game. I broke it down. And that is what people have been using to do amazing launches. Okay. So like I said, it was awesome. And then we kept repeating it. That one product in 7 years has done us over 300,000, 3 million in sales. I also like to be very truthful. I'm not going to tell you this 3 million is my pocket. Me and Ifyok, maybe I would say we shared maybe 25% of this, but it's not bad for a product we didn't create. Okay, because when you follow my formula, your launch on JVZoo or Warrior Plus or ClickBank, a chunk of that money is going to be going to your affiliates. You better get ready for that. So that you don't get a sticker shock. The affiliates that will sell these products for you, they're going to collect 50% of whatever your price you're selling. JVZoo is going to collect 5%. And there are other expenses that is going to go in there. So you'll be lucky to probably walk away with 25% of your sales, which is okay. Because even if you don't make profit from your front end, there's a way you then make your 6-figure on the back end after the launch. I explain all of that in the training. Some people even launch a product and give 100% commission. In other words, they're not making any money on the front end. Then they make 600,000 in the back end. People like Mike feel same. When he launches his product, he probably does 3 million. He doesn't launch on JVZoo, by the way, but it follows the same system I'm going to teach you. Maybe on a more robust level because he has money to spend more on stuff. Sometimes he does 100% commission, but by the time the launch is over, the man will tell you he has made $3 million. And you're asking yourself, how did he do it? That is daddy. Like the same. Those ones are my daddy. When I follow them, I just prostrate because it's not according to age. It's according to learning from. Okay, here is my, I just want to show you some statistics. And I'm focused on that very first one because I like to use the case study of my first one as a way of cementing it in your mind that you can do the same. If I showed you the one I did 3 years after, 4 years after, you can say, hey, he has experience. I already know everybody. I know almost everybody on JVZoo by now. If I really want to do a serious launch and I want them, I can get them. I have their number, I know their name, I know where they are on Skype. If I say I'm back now, I want to launch, I know those guys to call. So that may not be a fair thing to give you that impression. That's why I'm talking about my very first one. Before I knew anybody, before anybody knew me, is when I did $430,000 in a month on November 2016. Here is a screenshot that shows that we were number one on JVZoo top sellers for several days when we launched using this, my formula. That's the screenshot right there, direct from JVZoo. Number one, Mobimatic charter license. Here is 3-day a screenshot of how we did. We were number one on day one. We were number one on day 3. We were number one for the past 7 days. You can see the screenshot. Sorry, we were number 2 when we launched. We were number 2 for the past 7 days. We were number 1 for the second day. We were number 1 on the day we launched. using this same formula as a rookie, which means if you learn this formula, you can do the same. We even won a JVZoo product of the day, I think 2 times during that launch, or 3. If you don't know what the JVZoo product of the day is, that's a screenshot right there. What is every day, JVZoo picks the best product in the market based on sales, based on numbers, and all of they have their own proprietary stuff. Then they nominate that one product as the best product of the whole site. And they have over 1 million affiliates and vendors on that site, over 1 million people. So this bragging I'm doing is deliberate, okay, to let you know that when I'm saying I can teach you how to launch your software product for profits, I'm not capping, okay? So let's go to it, all right? I follow some specific steps that you will learn in the Launchify 360 course that I'm going to give you an offer in a few minutes, all right? You go over it, it's a complete pieces or breakdown in a way that you can execute the way I've been teaching all along. You know me, I'm very detailed, and I repeat myself until the point that you get it. Not just say one thing, then disappear, and then you're wondering what did he say. Most times I repeat myself 2 or 3 times, 4 times sometimes, because that's how I was taught by Miles Monroe, that if you want people to remember what you're teaching them, you got to repeat it at least 4 or 5 times. So, all right. So what is the blueprint? I simply followed a series of carefully put together steps that anyone, that's the key, can duplicate to our success. So let me quickly walk you through the 11 stages, all right? And then we'll go to question and answer. You create the perfect product for your launch. Step 1, all right? Now, that creating the perfect products is not so much about the quality of your product, but how to pick the type of product that people are ready to buy, to pay money for. But you're creating the product to make money. You're not creating it to show how good you are as a tech person. Screw that. You want to launch a product that people will pay you money for in multiples, in thousands. So that's step 1. You have to learn how to do that. In my training, I talked about that, even though I shared a bit about how to go get your product done. But then the question is, what type of product should you create if you want to make money? How do you evaluate it? How do you decide that this is the best type to create? That's step 1. Step 2, you do your sales funnel and pricing. Now, understand this. Sales funnel is your key to making that big money. How do you create it? What should be in your front end? What should be your upsell number 1? What should be your upsell number 2? What should be your upsell number 3? And what should be your upsell number 4? I typically like a 5 page funnel, front end and 4 upsells. That's how you get to 6 figures when you launch. A lot of people don't even know what that is. They have their product. They're just, I've seen even on this app, and I just smile that these guys are leaving 80% of their money on the table. Just selling that software alone is not enough. What are the things that come after it? For instance, if somebody were to buy a funnel builder, for instance, it needs templates, because most of those who are going to buy it, they are not going to be technical people. So you need to have a template club where every month they get a new template they can use on their funnel builder, so that when their customers come, they're always seeing new stuff to buy. That is just one gem right there. So you need to have an upsell for that, where people sign up for a template club. They have to pay for that monthly too. Now, people buy your product. How do they themselves? Now I'm talking about in advance about Funnelmatic when I'm going to launch it, what you're going to see in the funnel. And that's what we had in Mobimatic also. That when they buy the Mobimatic product, what is the next thing they will need? Obviously, people are not buying or they're not subscribing to Mobimatic just to build an app for themselves. Many in JVZoo do that. They are doing it because they also want to make money creating mobile apps for their own clients. So you need to have a training, you need to have a masterclass on how to market their services as mobile app consultants. That goes to your option number 2. They have to pay for that. That's a training to train them how to be mobile app consultants. And then there are 2 other products. I don't want to go into all of that. Behind that funnel, that's how we got to 430,000 in that month, just making 1,700 sales. Okay. Step 2 or step 3. After you design your funnel, you have to sit down, you have to visualize it and design it in a way that is optimum to make you sell the most. I told you guys today is going to be different. I want to blow everybody out here on this one today. Tomorrow, we might go back to the normal one or yesterday. Today, because this is my area. This is where I'm a general. So leave me, let me finish my work. If your data is finishing, please, you can leave and watch the recording. I'm also doing it because I need to sell this as a product down the road. This masterclass is going to be a product 297 that I'm going to sell. Just this one that I'm talking about, not the course. All right. So I'm being more detailed as usual. Okay. You have to design your sales funnel. There's a way you do it that will maximize your sale. That takes you to step 3. After you have designed it, now you have to build it. You have to create that sales funnel. Again, it's very easy to do. If you don't know how to design the funnel pages, that's where you pay money for people to build your sales pages for you. You are trying to launch a product now. These are the things that cost money. If you don't have the expertise, you already have your software. Now you are getting ready to launch it. Okay. Step 3, you build professional sales page, because that's where people are going to go to pay you money. So it has to be designed professionally. There's a way you do that. In fact, in our training, we give you samples. All the pages we use in Mobimatic is part of the package we give you. And we show you where you can also see other samples that you can pound up or that you can copy, so to speak. Step 4, probably the most important part of your launch that we took is to get JV managers for the launch. You are new, remember? I was new. I didn't know these JV managers. You're not just going to meet a Todd Gross or maybe a Victor Apomedae and say, come and promote my product when they don't know you. So to short circuit that, because you're a rookie, the step 4 is for you to get a JV manager. There are plenty of them. We show you where to get them, how to get them. Sometimes for my own students, I help them identify a JV manager. Even now, I can do JV manager for some people, even though I don't really like doing it. But when I was starting, remember, I was a rookie like you. I don't know else. I don't know anything. So when I figured out what those guys were doing in that 2 years research that I did, I realized that every one of them, including even those who are successful, they use JV managers. Because what JV managers do, they are typically people who know everybody. It's like the popular guy on the street or somebody that is very well respected, either on ClickBank or JVZoo or Warrior Plus. They are the ones that will go and get people that will promote your product for you. They are the ones that will approach the powerhouses and say, we have a product coming up, and we want you to promote the work out the deal with them. Those guys don't need to know you. In my own case, Todd Gross don't know who the hell I was. But he promoted my team. In fact, I think he won the competition. I think he must have sold probably like 30,000 by himself or 40,000 of my product, one person, in 5 days. I think it was 40-something thousand, if I remember correctly. But he didn't know me from Adam. But he knew my JV manager. My JV manager is the one that spoke to him. And because he trusted my JV manager, he said, okay, I'll promote this. That's why I'm in Nigeria. You guys know what that means. When they say you're Nigerian, people automatically distrust you through no fault of yours. It's all those mad people that have given us bad name, but it is what it is. You can't blame somebody. If I'm not Nigerian, I don't think I will deal with a Nigerian. I'm not lying. Based on the reputation of what I'm hearing, I'll be a foolish man to go and say, I want to promote the product of a Nigerian guy. What if he collects the money and disappears is what I'm going to be thinking. So it's nothing to be upset about. We see it all the time. So for somebody like that to go on a limb, because he's going to be selling my product to his own customers, right? Because he's the one that will have the customers. I don't know who the hell the customers are. He's the one that have their list. He's the one they've been buying from. They are buying because of his own authority, not mine. So if the thing screwed up, which it did later, by the way, this same Mobimatic, the product crashed the 3rd day. And we're already at $200,000 in sales. A whole different story entirely. I wrote a book on that. Imagine if I had run away. What would Todd Gross tell his people? Because it seems they will call. They don't know me. So it's a dicey thing. When you are new, you are going to meet resistance. One, because they don't know you. Number two, also because a lot of the good affiliates, they are, I would say they are swollen-headed. They know they're going to make you money, so they're very finicky. They get upset very easily. They are very careful who they deal with and all of that. So you need a JV manager. Let me just stop that. So step 4, you need to select JV managers for your launch. Part of my training We'll show you how to select, including even a Rolodex of who they are, the kind of things you need to have in place for the JV managers to agree to promote to be your JV manager. They won't just come and meet you and promote you because you call them. They will ask for some questions. They will come to your side. There are some things they want to see there before they agree to promote your launch. That is step 4. You do that step wrong, your launch is going to tank. It's guaranteed. But you do it right, a totally an unknown person can pull down $200,000 in 5 days, and many have been pulling it. Shehu Ogundele too. He followed this plan. He would tell you any day you ask him. Nobody knew him. He didn't even call me to promote him. And I'm supposed to be his mentor, right? But his JV manager handled it. He called his JV manager. They signed the deal based on the training. He knew how to get one. And he went ahead and got one of the best guys on JV's, a white guy. And he was in Nigeria. Are you seeing now? He was able to get, same way with several of the others, Misa and all those guys who use my training. So step 4, get a JV manager. How do you get that? What do they need? What do they need to see? How do you go about pursuing them? That is the step 4 in the training. That part alone was 3 hours training. Because all the mistakes that I made while I was selecting my own, negotiating the amount to pay the JV manager, how to deal with the product after you sell, all of that. Yeah, Bayo, I'm seeing you. I'll get back to you once I finish this. Let me finish this training. Okay. So step 5, before your launch, now you have got your JV manager who's doing his own thing. Step 5 is to create momentum for your launch. It's called pre-launch system. As part of this, my Launchify 360 plan. People don't just buy, you don't just sell 300,000 in 5 days because on the day you launch. It doesn't work like that. There are some things you do 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month even. We always take 1 month before the launch. It's called your pre-launch plan. There are some things that will be happening that you need to do. How to key in your affiliates, materials to get ready for them, how to create a vibe, and the little things you need to do to create a vibe for your launch. That is step 5 that we discuss in the Launchify 360 plan. And then there is a launch day kickoff strategy. I call it the $100,000 launch day kickoff strategy. Yes, I did do $101,000, no, $104,000 on day 1 of my launch, my very first $100,000 day ever. I've done several since then, but that was my very first one, and it was my first launch. It doesn't just happen because you prayed. There are stuff that you do on that launch day that will make your affiliates keep promoting. For instance, one of them include like launch day a contest, where you're going to put a contest up that the top 3 sellers for today are going to get this extra apart from their commission. That is called the launch day contest. That's the way you promote that before the launch day, so that people will even spend money on adverts, their own money on adverts of your product, because they want to win that launch day contest. Sometimes the launch day contest is only $300, $200. Some even have a launch day contest of $50. You will find out that it's not about the money with these affiliates. It's the prestige. Somebody who's a multi-million-dollar affiliate already is contesting and sending mail and doing all of that just so that they can win your contest. I use that to devastating effect, where I set up Todd Gross against, what's his name again? Sambaka. That's another top-level affiliate called Sambaka. And they were going at it, and I was doing my own commentary on Facebook, on Skype, basically playing on the ego of the big boys. Nobody wants to lose. So they went to town. They have the members, they have the buyers. Some of them even ran adverts so that they can win. It's all part of the strategy. There's a way you craft it, there's a way you position it, and there's a way you now make it something that everybody wants to be part of. And it doesn't have to be big money. Like I said, sometimes it doesn't have to involve money. When you're JV manager and your launch a consultant, I do that now, obviously, for a fee, where I will help them look at your funnel, help you craft your launch day kickoff strategy in a way that will give you the maximum sales for that day. That's step 6. Step 7, what we did, we call it the mid-launch cash flow strategy. Typically, your launch will be about 7 days, right? In the middle of your launch, because products are coming out every day. On the day you are launching, you will not be the only one launching. Whether you are launching on Warrior Plus, or you are launching on jvzu.com or clickbank.com, or whatever platform you are launching from. My own experience is limited to those 3. I'm not going to lie to you. JVZU was my number 1. That's where I launched most of my products, but that's the one I know. And that's one I know most of the big players. So whichever one you use, what happens is that by the 3rd day, many of the affiliates, they want to go promote another product. Or maybe another of their friends that they have committed to is launching. They want to go away and leave your product to go and promote somebody else. So your sales will drop unless you plug it with what is called mid-launch cash flow strategy. Basically, you put another launch, like the 3rd day of your launch, you put another contest. So those who want to break off, all of a sudden, there's a new contest in town, they keep promoting. And remember, you only need the top 10 guys to be promoted. Forget, you might have 1,000 people that say they're going to promote your stuff. 90% of your money will be made by the top 10 affiliates that are promoting you. Those 10, those are the ones you are focusing on. And you are doing stuff to keep them glued to your launch. It's called the mid-launch cash flow strategy. Step 8, then when your launch is about to close, remember it's a 7-day launch. There's also what is called the 6-figure launch closing on steroids. There's some stuff that you do that will, as a matter of fact, you make more money during your closing than even the rest of the days combined, your last 2 days of closing. What you make that day, if you do it well, should actually be more than what you did the previous 5 days. If you know what to do, it's called launch closing on steroids. There's several steps that you take. I broke all of that down, what we did, how we did it, and the kind of money we made with it. Then step 9. This one is where you then make clean money. It's called post-launch strategies to get more sales. When your sales close, that is when you actually then begin to make the big money in terms of bulk sale. There's some stuff you do, like a post-launch webinar, where sometimes in that post-launch webinar, you actually make as much as what you made in the last 7 days. But this time, most of the money you get to keep. If you do it right, your affiliates are not collecting that money. Now you are the one collecting all the money because it is your webinar now. But sometimes you allow affiliates to also promote to it so that they get 50%. It's up to you, right? But most times people do their post-launch strategy on their own. They do their own post-launch webinar rather on their own so that they can get to keep most of that money. And that is where you sell high-ticket items, if you know what to do. Step 10. Of course, when you launch on the internet, everybody has 30 days to cancel, 30 days to get their money back. So we have what is called the post-launch income defense strategy that we did when we launched Mobimatic, and has now become part of our launches and all my students, is that you now want to do some stuff so that people will not cancel and take back the money you already made. That is called post-launch income defense strategies. There are some things you do that even if somebody wants to cancel before, all of a sudden they decide they are not going to cancel. A lot of people cancel when they buy a product because either they can't use it when they started using it, or they don't think the value is as high as they thought. But if you have some stuff that you are doing, for instance, maybe having a 3-day walkthrough for your users, where you run a webinar 2 hours to walk them through how to use the system, it reduces how many people will cancel. How to help them make the first money with the product they just bought. It's also a great idea. When you show them what to do and they do it, then they want to keep your stuff. Also, your customer service. How do you set it up? A lot of people launch, they don't even have customer service to take care of people. In Mobimatic, even though our system crashed, we still had less than 7% cancellation because of this step 10. We had planned, and we had, I think, about 20 people in our customer service desk, 24/7, 20 people per shift that we hired strictly for that launch, just for I think then it was a 2-week engagement. So that way, when people come and you get a lot of customer service requests, particularly if you did a lot of sales. Many of them will come back, they can't use it, they're having challenges. And if they can't get somebody to chat with or to talk with immediately, they're going to cancel and get their money back. But when they come to you and they see that there's a very responsive customer service desk, which we took time to train those guys. We took about a week to train them before the launch. So even when our system crashed and people cannot use it, when they get to our customer service desk, they met people there who explained to them, oh, sorry, yeah, it is true, our system has crashed. We are working hard to fix it. We encourage you to keep your blood. She taught them. There are coupons you will create when somebody comes and say they want to cancel. Your customer service will talk them and give them a 20% off coupon or a 50% off coupon where you can give them some money back or give them a product you already have as a bonus if they decide to keep it. Things like that. That's step 10. And the final step, of course, is that the swipe file and resources that you need to do this. Every one of these steps has a swipe file with examples in there, with tools in there. So that's what it is. I think that's a very long thing. I'm going to jump. I'm skipping out, guys. I'm not going through the details of what we did. That is on the PowerPoint, but I think I've explained it enough to just go straight to the conclusion here, and we can have a little discussion before, because we're already, believe it or not, at the 3-hour mark, if not 4 even. Okay, here are some case studies right here. All right, there's Vaughn. I was struggling to create a launchable product. He had no system, and then he got the Launchify 360 system and launched his first product. Again, you can check it on JVZoo. It's called Convert Proof. Convert Proof on JVZoo. He did 78,000 the first 5 days of his launch. Convert Proof. You can go there and verify. He sold about 1,000 units in the funnel and over 70,000 the first 5. He even won product of the day using this Launchify 360 formula. The product is called Convert Proof. It's not my own. It's owned by, here is Shehu Ogundele, case study number 2. He has been working for months before getting to Launchify 360 system. The guy, so they call him the youngest CEO. He has already had success plenty in Nigeria, but he has never launched a product internationally before. He attended a seminar like this, and then he purchased the Launchify 360 system for the 1997 that we were selling it then, and he launched his first product. It's called Omni Engine. Again, these are giving you verifiable data statistics that you can go check, so that you don't say they come here and give you whatever. Omni Engine, 2,000 sales in 5 days, over $106,000 in sales. He also won product of the day on JVZoo out of 1 million affiliates and vendors. My boy won #1 on JVZoo leaderboard. Yes, another guy, Patrick Enyum. Again, these are guys you can go check out. Patrick Enyum is E-N-Y-U-M. These are my students. He got the Launchify 360 system after he and then he used to create a nice software, but initially he didn't know who and where to launch it. He has created the software before I met him. When he saw my Launchify 360 and purchased it, then he had his first ever launch on JVZoo. He did over 100,000 too on his first launch. And he won multiple, not one, multiple JV products of the day. Now he has launched several follow-up products. In fact, some of his products are on AppSumo now, using the same formula that I taught him. Here is Leon Andrew. He also got the Launchify 360 system. For those of you on Zoom, you can see him. These are names you can go check out. And then he became a full-time, he did rather than just buying the Launchify 360 training program, he actually signed up for my $5,000, then it was $5,000 I was charging then, for me to do one-on-one with him to help him create his product and then to help him co-launch it. So we co-launched the first software, and then we did, that one didn't, I think the first one didn't do 100,000, was Video Max. I think we did like, it was a flop, maybe like 30,000 or something like that. Can't remember what happened, was not really a very good software. And then he launched the second one called Cloudly Suites, which did over 100,000 in 5 days. And then He has launched several there. There's one market, what they call block. What's his latest one now? That he did 180,000 in using the same system. All right. Now, so I could go on and on, but that's what it is for those buyers. So today, right now, your question might be, how can I implement these secrets? Do I have the checklist? I told you I have a product called Launchify 360 Pro. It's a complete step-by-step blueprint, software, toolkit, and swipe file for creating and launching your own product online for 6 figures, even if you have never launched a product before. And it's going to encapsulate more details of all this stuff that I'm talking about. I'm even going to be updating it for those who have it. They get the updated copy for where I'm going to include the AI stuff and all that. All this was done before AI was even within reach of anybody. All right. So basically, it is I would like to call it is $2,097. That's what I'm selling right now online. Mr. Bayo, if you have the link, can you please post it for me? Let me go get the link. And to cut a long story short, so that we can go to the Q&A after all this long talk. Today, if you are going to be buying it, it will only cost you $299. I'm going to give you a coupon that will give you 90% off on my site. Okay, I'm going to get a coupon in a minute. When you get to the site, which I'm going to post in a second, is $2,997. That's what I sell it. And it is what is weight in gold. Comes with guarantee even. If you follow everything I do, I did in that training, and your launch did less than, let me put a minimum figure, maybe your launch did less than 20,000, I will give you your money back. That's how sure I am. As long as you can show me that you did it as I explained. And if you did it, there'll be record, because your funnel will be there, your product will be there. The stuff that I asked you to do, you'll be able to show me. And you did less than $20,000 in your first launch, I will give you your money back. But right now, I've decided to. So here is the deal. Only the first 10, because what people have been paying me $2,997 for, is one of my biggest income earners. And I'm not going to come and reduce the value for them. Those who bought it 2 months ago will not be happy. But this is what I've decided to do. That one I can defend. First 10 people to go to the site and use that 90% coupon will get it at 90% off. So it's going to be only $299. After the 10th person I purchased, that link will no longer work. That's how we have coded it. The discount coupon will no longer work. Then the other coupon that will then work is 80% off coupon. I'm going to give you both now. The 80% off means you are going to pay $599 for the next 10 after that. They will get 80% off. After that, then the price is going to go to 70% off. Now that one I'm going to leave for the next 30 days. Now, those who know me know that when I say these things, I'm not joking or trying to switch sell you. It's exactly what's going to happen. After the 10th, if it doesn't work for you anymore, that means 10 people have bought. Now you can then use the second coupon, which will give you 80% off for $599. Okay. After 10 people have used that second coupon too, it will no longer work. The only one that will then work is the third one, which only gives you 70% off. Mr. Bayo is going to post them now. Bayo, please get me those coupons for those who may want to get this. Then we'll go to Q&A. It's a very long one today. I'm not going to apologize for giving you great value, but I will just simply say thank you so much for those of you who still stayed on the call. It's a very long one, but I wanted to do this so that I have a full presentation on this that I can then put on every webinar and I'll just do a little edit. That way I don't have to repeat myself every day to make a sale on this. So forgive me for going that route. Then hold on, where is my, I'm trying, Mr. Bayo, somebody find it, please. Can you post the link for me? Send it to me on WhatsApp and also post it in the, hold on, let me go look for the link, guys. All right, if you have questions, please raise up your hand wherever you are. I'm going to post as soon as I post post it everywhere. Post it in the G-Stars post it on what is it called? On Clubhouse, and of course on Zoom. Zoom is where we have the most people. I think I have like 67 people on Zoom right now. No, 47 that are here now. Please, I need you to post the link for them, please. Mr. Bayo, where are you? And then for those who are saying from Nigeria, I think money right now is 740. So you want to multiply that. If you want to pay into an account and they will give you access to this, definitely I will give you the Nigerian Naira number, because I know some of you, you can't pay with dollar even if you want, because your government doesn't allow your card to work internationally. Okay, I'm still waiting for Mr. Bayo. I don't know what's going on. Somebody please call him on the phone. I've told him to get this thing ready for me. All right. All right. So put the link. All right, I've seen it. All right, guys. So Funke, post the link at the top of the room and also post it in the chat with the discount coupons. Okay. Here is the, okay, yeah, I think I got it. All right. The website to go is ai360tools.com/launchify360. Okay. ai360tools.com/launchify360. I'm waiting for Funke to post it at the top of the room. And then the coupons, the coupon for the 90% is VIP 90. To get the 90% off is VIP 90. If that doesn't work, once you get in there, like I said, it's only going to work for the first 10. So if it doesn't work for you, that means 10 people already purchased under this deal. Then the next coupon you should apply, because the coupon won't work after that. Okay. You may believe me or not, but you'll see exactly what's going to happen. All right. After 10, whether it's finished now or finished after this call, it won't matter. 10. If you tried, it doesn't work, then try VIP 80. If you still want to purchase, that will give you 80% discount for the next 10 after that. Then after that, both VIP 90 and VIP 80 will not work. Then the one that will work is VIP 70. That will only give you 70% discount. When you click on it and you want to check out, it's going to ask for your, whether you have a coupon. And then you put the coupon there. Okay, let me try and log in and see how it looks. I haven't seen it myself. I just told Bayo to get it ready for this presentation. The reason why I'm offering this is I know. Well, good question. Okay, the coupon is at the bottom. For those of you who are doing this, who are looking for the coupon, let me share the screen again so that you can see it. Now I'm going to share the account number for those of you who want to pay in Naira. Multiply the coupon you're paying by the price of your the 299 by 740. That is the exchange rate, I'm told. I don't even know if that's the current one or not, but I will accept this one right now. So it's 299 times 740. So that will be 221,000 Naira for, that's crazy. That's crazy. Let's just bring that down to 200,000. Shit. Nigerian money is just crazy. So if you want to pay by Naira, again, as I get the alert, it's going to be counting, even though it's not going on the site itself. So once it's done, it's done. No apologies here. Where is the, I'm trying to get my GT Bank account number. You would think I know this thing offered by now. Okay, it's a current account, GT Bank, current. I posted the account number in the. It's not good. Sorry, are you still see me? What did you say?
We can hear you on G-Stars. You were asking if we could hear you, sir.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. I will post the links there for you guys, for those of you who want to pay in Naira, obviously. I'm going to put the account number there. I posted it on